Crossover. Oh, killer crossover. Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. God, my lisp is lisping.
Whoa. Maybe one day you'll get that right.
Thanks, Connor. Appreciate it. Only been here for a year.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're
the only person who congratulated me.
Not
so
even him?
You. Well, Gary did. Of course.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But Gary goes, congrats on lasting. I'm like, thanks.
You did it.
My house. Whoa. There is so not only is the portal season open, high school football season is open.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
If this happens, there's a significant local player that's going to have a new address. All right. But portal season, we have a portal show on May 1 because you have to be into your school by May 1. But now more kids are getting into their school.
That's right.
In January so they can get into the weightlifting and all of that.
Let's see. I'll put that on my calendar. May 1st this year is a Friday. Perfect.
Is that National Millard South Day?
That's national. Everybody got to, get in touch with their
loved
ones.
Pick up one good player and not lose anybody.
Okay, so there was my next question. I go
they will pick up a somebody who has a Power 4 offer in this town.
When you started going, I thought you were about to tell me, they might lose some guys.
No, they're fine. They're fine.
No, they're gonna be fine. Right.
Yeah, people are like Millard is the place to go now. Everybody wants to go to Millard North, Millard South.
Everybody wants to go. I thought it was 180th and Maple.
I know. I thought.
When does Elkhorn North get in the game?
Well. It's different out there because you have to actually live.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought that was the rule for everybody, but I don't know.
And now they're Class A. I mean, they'll be able to, they'll expand. Is my 7 Brew open?
I don't know. I will say that there is like an energy drink. Have you seen this place?
Yeah, but I don't think it's that one. This is
Yes, Hyper. Hyper.
Yes, and it's super popular.
It is loaded at all hours of the day. All hours of the day. I drove by at like 3:00 yesterday, and at 3:00 on a Sunday, I need an energy drink. There's 500 people at the Hyper Energy.
But think about where it's located and the women,
the clientele
that lives out there.
Yes.
You can see why it is going to be super popular.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. Then they're going to do the 7 Brew right across the street, basically.
Yes. It's great. Now we need a Waffle House and a swig, and we're good here.
According to Google, it opened on the 15th.
There you go. I've driven by twice, and it's been absolutely jacked.
I've never heard of this place.
They were talking about it. I overheard a conversation when I was in Lincoln yesterday. Apparently, they have one in Lincoln. And people were the college kids just absolutely guzzle it.
Energy drinks in my generation are like white on
rice. I know. Great point. There's got to be something in there. There's gonna be some effects here. I don't know what it's gonna be.
No. I could not agree more. I think that there are going to be some people in my generation who probably might have some sort of cardiovascular issues with the amount of just weird substances.
Every generation has their own cardiovascular issue.
Yeah, no, seriously. Cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
Cigarettes. And then it became we have two things. We have those dab pens, those like weed pens that have all the wax in them and stuff like that. And it's like there have been people who've gotten legitimately sick because they are just huffing and puffing on those things all the time. They're terrible for your lungs. And then now we have energy drinks. So unfortunately, though, I can not act as if I'm above it. I'm an energy drink guy now.
You are
working here.
Not now, but just
I never had an energy drink before I started working here.
Oh, really?
No Red Bull.
I never had.
I thought that came with you.
No, the only time, the only time I ever had a Red Bull was when it was mixed with vodka. That was the only.
You're saying we did this to you,
low key, because if Gary remembers this. About the first 4 months of me working here, I always came in with a cup of coffee from Dundee Double Shot. I bought a cup of coffee.
That's right. You were big on the coffee. You got a whole coffee maker.
And I got a Keurig here for the office, and I would have like a second cup of coffee like in between the show. And then it just wasn't working anymore. Like I was getting tired, about the 9:30 hour. Mm-hmm. And so one day I go, screw it, I'm going to have this white Monster. And now it's
a part of your life.
A part of me. But when I go home, I don't have energy drinks because we have Cuban coffee. That stuff's rocket fuel.
So I want to correct the record on 7 Brew.
Hi, Josh. Welcome back.
Thank you. According to the 7 Brew website, the Omaha location opens on January 12th.
January
Ooh, they pushed
12th.
it back.
January 12th. That's okay.
I was going to venture to your neighborhood, do a little Costco, a little 7 Brew.
Speaking of Omaha, we have some Omaha thoughts from Colin in White Plains. You guys
Colin.
ready to hear these? All right. He says, I hope you all have a great Christmas break. I was just in the fair city of Omaha last week, and I have thoughts after not being there for several years. Number 1, 1620 needs a better radio signal.
Great take.
Number 2, Runza. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Philly Runzas are better than the original. Matt's take on the burgers being better than the Runzas is horrible. I actually disagree with. I'm with you, Matt.
I think
They have good burgers.
the burgers are awesome.
What the hell is the point of frings? Not enough either rings or fries.
Could not agree more.
Number 3.
Great take, Colin.
Why is there a car wash literally every 2 blocks? Is the goal to have 1 car wash per vehicle? Great question. We can address that. Number 4, the entrance of the Dodge West Expressway from 680 sucks. Why does it go down from multiple lanes down to just one?
Thank you. Yes.
Excellent. That is
Thank
the
you,
worst.
Colin, for coming
One of-
back home.
One of the worst things about this town. Number 5, the airport will take a while.
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah.
Oh, no, hold on. I want to stand up for the airport because I've gone through there a lot this month. We are
Stop.
making progress. Okay.
I will be the judge.
Pardon our dust.
I will be
Oh.
the judge.
Hold on.
I'm going there tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll
If
let
you're
you
going
know.
to do what they're doing to our airport, and by the way, all of these local media that were celebrating American Airlines coming back to Lincoln, do you not know where your bread is buttered?
Yeah.
We have a
That
monster
was
air-
interesting.
Yeah, they
that
were like
was
building
interesting.
up the Lincoln Airport.
I don't know why you two are staring at me.
Well,
with
you're
daggers
Mr.
in
Lincoln.
my eyes.
You're
How
Mi-
am I Mr. Lincoln?
It's
I don't know.
still
'Cause I
cheaper
went-
to fly out Omaha than it is Lincoln.
I've been Mr. Omaha. I went to Shucks downtown yesterday for lunch. Okay, it was a great spot.
Nice.
I had oysters
Okay.
and shrimp
The
and their
airport-
$4
The
margaritas.
airport is coming along. Like even I was there 2 weeks ago. I was there yesterday. We're making progress. It's going to take some time, but it's going to look great.
So
when it's
Colin
done.
probably knows about, like, some people had to travel through, his home airport, LaGuardia, for a couple of years, the biggest
Yeah.
disaster on planet Earth. And now it's beautiful. It is
Yes.
a wonderful, spacious
Our
airport.
airport's going to look
Whoa,
fantastic.
it'll be great.
And
LaGuardia is awesome.
streetcar
Yes.
will be great.
Hold your horses over there. No.
And then
They had
number
a celebration in Blackstone the other night.
they did.
Yeah, because
Everything's open.
people could actually go and like do business there.
I'd say that's where celebration.
Guys, let's celebrate. We're no longer closing our businesses because of this project that is completely pointless in some ways. Woo! We get to buy Christmas gifts for our kids now. Let's go.
number
Get outta
6,
here.
whoever approved the catastrophe downtown that has everything dug up should be fired.
There you
Have a
go.
great holiday season, Colin and my place.
There is one positive of the streetcar stuff is we've all gotten to know Jordan, who has become YouTube famous.
Yes.
He's the guy that talks about the
Yes,
construction and
yes.
how you can't go anywhere in Omaha.
You think you're gonna walk down the crosswalk in downtown Omaha? Think again. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, that guy's good. That guy's good. So, but that's good. I just think that's good insight from an outsider.
Yeah, it's a fresh perspective.
Yeah. Yep. It's good. It's good to hear other people say, "Oh yeah, this is really bad," when we complain about it every single day.
It's
I hope
incredible.
we didn't put too many thoughts into his head.
It's incredible though how many car washes there are in the town and how many dirty cars there are on 480.
I mean, the weather's not cooperative. It's a
so-
dirty car town. That's why you got to have car washes.
Okay, so for the next 2 days at least, car washes are going to be packed in this town.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
car wash week.
But you know what? When you have a subscription, you get the right lane at,
Just
at
zip.
Russell Speeders compared to the left lane.
Every
You only got to
city-
wait 37 minutes instead of 45 minutes.
Every
Don't
city's
discount the cheap gas. Like
Ev-
once I knew the hack to get the, so I am a Russell Speeders
Okay.
subscriber,
Sure.
and every time they try and raise my rate, I'm like, I don't know, and so they bump it back down. It's like dealing with Sirius XM. Like I think I'm going to drop it. No, what can we do for you?
is like
yeah.
dealing with Omaha.com.
Yes. You get cheap gas. So you get 25 cents off per gallon, but there is you have to know what to put in,
Okay.
and they don't tell everybody that.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you don't.
No, I didn't know about that. Oh, I usually get like
I
Costco
went and asked.
gas.
So when I was pulling up the
How
attendant
much
at
how much do you have to put in?
you just have to put in a code.
Really?
But they don't tell you that. Like it's not on you don't put in like your number that you have for your it's on your car.
Yeah,
for your
yeah,
free-
yeah.
your car wash.
That's
subscription.
incredible.
So I asked the guy one day, I'm like, hey, what's up with the gas? he's like, oh.
He
goes, well, this is what you got to do. You got to put in this code, and then it'll recalibrate your gas, and you're a
And that's
member.
just for being a Russell Speeder guy?
Yeah.
And which gas station is this?
It's all the Russell Speeders.
No, but
but
which
it has to
gas
be-
station do you have to get your gas at?
Well, you have to go to the Russell Speeders where they have the gas. Like I always go to the one on 108th and Center.
They have Russell Speeder's gas?
Yeah, go to the one on 108th and Center.
Oh, no, I'm not going there. It's out of the way.
It's the other end of
I
town.
like how you
Yeah.
shut that down.
Yeah,
immediately.
I'm not. But they have gas there?
Yeah, they have gas. They have like a little convenience store as well.
I didn't know.
But
about
they have 25 cents off gas.
Hmm.
But you have to put in a special code that they don't tell people that until you ask. And this guy, like, he looked around. He was like, don't share this. And then he gave me the code, and it's worked ever since.
that. Wow.
I'm a Hy-Vee whore. I buy stuff from Hy-Vee, scan
Every-
that card.
Smile in every
I
aisle.
dude, I rack up those points, and then when I get enough cents off my gas, that's when I go and fill that sucker up.
Ivy.
That's right. Did you go see my guy, my sushi guy, Carl?
No, I did not see your sushi guy, Carl.
I don't know if you want your sushi guy to be named Carl.
Thank you, Josh Odson.
Carl
I knew where
from
this was coming from.
Omaha.
That is not nice.
From Omaha.
I believe that is his name. Because I
You believe it's his name?
Well,
Or
that's what he said, and I'm pretty sure he said Carl.
how did he say it?
He
Don't.
just said Carl.
Yeah. Don't say that. Don't do that.
But I get what you're saying. Like, if you go into a Chinese restaurant and it's nothing but Americans, or like just white people like us behind the counter, you're going to be a little suspect.
Oh, I have. Yeah.
Or if you
we
go
are,
into-
we here
we
at the
have-
Counter Happer Show are very aware of this.
Or you go into like your favorite Mexican restaurant and they have a bunch of people that look like me.
Oh, no
I'm going to
good.
second guess if that microwave is working or how are we
No
making
bueno.
the food.
Gringos.
Josh knows about Josh went to a certain popular local Chinese establishment recently.
That's right.
Did you go to the
and,
buffet?
No.
My wife brought it up yesterday, and she's like, "Why don't we switch it up?"
Oh.
And I said, "Okay, it's your funeral," and and we did it. And then we decided we're going to go back to what we like.
Mhm.
You know,
See, I
go
go
back to our regular.
I go
Did
to
you
this,
go out of the way? Did you go to our
No,
place on Leavenworth?
It's actually more in the way for me.
Oh.
The wider place. The wider place.
I
But I haven't
go,
been to Threes in a long time.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned that, I haven't been to Threes Happiness probably since like
well, remember,
high
we
school.
almost lost it.
yeah
Almost burnt down.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
go my sushi place is all you can eat, and I know that there might be a chance that I'll pick up like a ringworm, a tapeworm from eating the sushi there because it just doesn't seem like it's the cleanliest and highest quality of fish. But I eat it and it tastes good, and so it's only $15. Gets the
Just
job
don't think
done.
about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of all you can eat, so I went to where we were staying down in Houston. There was a Waffle House by our hotel, so I went there after our game Saturday night. Did you know that there used to be a all-you-can-eat menu at Waffle House at one time,
Wow.
like 20 years ago? This guy behind the counter was explaining it, and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Nobody knew about it. but
$10 and
you,
you just
yeah, you ordered it.
Yeah.
Like off the secret menu."
Oh,
He said you'd come in, and if someone said, "Hey, can I get the all-you-can-eat?" They'd be like, "Yeah."
yeah.
It wasn't on the menu, but if you knew about it, and it was like word of mouth 20 years ago, I can't imagine nowadays the price
it
of food.
works. Yeah.
They would lose so much money.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Yeah." He goes, if you know, you know." People come and go, "Hey, can I get the all you can eat?" And they'd be
I-
like, "Yeah." So it'd be all you can eat anything on the menu at Waffle House about 20 years ago.
I'm
But
gonna
why would you even need that? I mean, you could get so much food for such a low amount of money,
Well, now
Especially
like the
20 years
All-Star is
ago.
up to $12. The single waffle is like $4.75.
I had everything I could have ever wanted, and I paid $7.50. I think
Whoa.
in Springdale, Arkansas.
I've never been to a Waffle House.
Yeah.
Never been to one.
Well, then it morphed into a conversation of, he goes, "Where are you guys from?" "Omaha." And he said, he goes, "I've been to Oklahoma." And I'm like,
Huh.
"No, Nebraska." But
That's wild.
he goes,
That
"You-
is funny because the same thing happened at the.
Did it happen to you?
I mean, kind of. The guy, we had to we're like, yeah, Creighton. It's because we were there with baseball
Yeah.
in Arkansas, and they were like, "Oh, so who you guys? What are you doing here? Who are you playing?" They were like, "Oh," he's like, "I'm from Alabama. I don't really know what's going on."
I love that. Good for that guy.
That's weird.
This is a bad take, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't really care. I'm not a secret menu guy. I think secret menus are stupid. Okay, like there are a couple of places that have like, it's on.
I know, but why?
Because it's just like, if it's that good, just put it on the regular menu, right? If it's so much better than things that are on the regular menu, like,
I don't think it's because it's better. I think it's because it's more.
There are some, but there are some things. It's like, just put it on the regular menu, and then like it's like also too. Now that if I want something that's on a secret menu, I got to do this weird like mob code song and dance with the waiter or waitress being like,
it adds to it.
Like, hey, I gotta be like, hey, I know about the
So I'm
secret.
guessing you haven't been to the In-N-Out and tried.
No, I haven't. I think
McDonald's has a secret.
if you have good
They do.
things, just put it on your regular menu and allow me to go and eat them. Why do we have to do this whole secret menu?
It makes
BS?
it cool though, man.
Yeah, there's
It's
too
not
much
cool. It's
secret menu.
inconvenient.
Then there's too much stuff on the regular menu.
Well, then take the stuff out that sucks. You're telling me that we don't
It's
need.
not about whether it's good or bad.
There
It's
are some things on the McDonald's menu that don't need to be on there.
really like what?
I would say anything that isn't the McChicken. Let's just get like any chicken item that isn't the McChicken. Let's just get rid of.
What
that.
about chicken nuggets?
Okay, yeah, fine. Chicken nuggets and the
Chicken
McChicken.
nuggets,
Everything else.
fine.
Get rid
What
of the
about like a
wraps.
chicken snack wrap?
Nope. Get that
That's
out.
popular.
Get the wraps out. Get the salads out.
I think
Get
the
all
wraps
that.
are
Get the fruit
popular.
stuff out. Get all that out. The fillet of fish. If you want fish, go to Long John Silver's. All right, we don't need the
Oh,
fillet
people
of
love
fish.
the
John
filet of
Silver's
fish.
doesn't really exist anymore.
It's over here on Dodge, right by the Popeyes.
Oh, is that?
There. I think.
I don't
the
think.
last
I don't know if it
standalone-
is there.
It's there.
It's definitely like there's
It's
a
there.
building
It's
there.
physically there.
The
Yeah.
building. So is it Long John Silver's or is it just the building standing in
Let,
something else?
let me look.
It may
Because
be open.
The
It-
Long John Silver's on 84th.
It's open.
Google says it's open.
It's
Okay.
open.
All
Long
right.
John Silver's on 84th became a Mexican restaurant.
It is.
Well, and then our KFC Long John Silver's at on 132nd and Fort became a
R.I.P.
New York deli.
What?
Yeah, I just got this information yesterday from Stibbs.
It's a what?
It became a New York deli.
Is
Well,
it
it only
Katz's?
took
Is this the
5
New
years
York
for something to move in.
juice?
Look, New York Deli and Juice Bar.
Yes. Okay. So this is so
juice.
the TikTok foodies have all reviewed this week.
Yeah, and that was the old KFC Long John Silver's at 132nd
I-
and Maple.
I was with the TikTok.
Look at that! Look at look at the building, Gary. Look at the building.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
KFC Long John Silver's. You can see how that used to be a KFC Long John Silver's,
I was
and now it's a taste
A
of New
Bronx
York.
attitude sandwich
Yeah.
shop.
That's
like
right.
the TikTok foodie guys all love it.
I went.
Oh, I'm gonna go.
I
Oh,
was
for sure.
I was sitting next to a TikTok foodie guy yesterday at Chuck's, and like I was sitting down, I was eating my meal.
Oh,
and
which
then,
one?
the one downtown.
Which TikTok
Which
foodie?
foodie guy?
Oh, I don't know, but
Oh, okay.
I was sitting next to him and I was talking to him. All of a sudden, he pulled out his phone. And he goes, I'm at Chuck's downtown having the lobster ravioli with ravioli with 2 lobsters on top. Like he was doing it. I was like, oh, okay, wow, I was taken aback. And then I think he probably like went back into his car probably and like put the phone up on the dash.
Oh
and was
yeah,
like this is
everyone
what
wants
I
to watch
think.
you eating. That's for
So
sure.
there's
Exactly.
one guy that he eats in his car. It's not
A lot of people.
former DJ here at Power.
Tay.
Yeah.
Tay, who is a food guy. I mean,
He
he's a
actually
chef.
is. Yeah,
He's a chef.
He's a chef.
Okay, so there's
yes.
one guy that is going around Omaha and he eats in his car. Okay, he doesn't look like a foodie. He just looks like, got long hair, unshaven, but he sits in his car and he reviews wings. And
Well, eating wings in your car.
It is funny, but it is so disgusting because he brings his camera phone right up to his face as he's eating a wing, and here's blue cheese popping out.
Horrific.
But I like we have an explosion of TikTok foodies in Omaha.
We do. It's probably
Explosion.
everywhere. It's probably not just in Omaha. Maybe Omaha's
I'm
probably
not-
a little late to the scene on that.
I'm not a TikTok foodie. I'm a YouTube Shorts foodie guy.
I don't
but-
get the difference.
But the thing is on YouTube Shorts, you don't have people eating wings in their car. You have professional chefs at their restaurant.
that
Basically,
can't be true. There's
basic-
definitely people on YouTube Shorts eating wings.
I'm in the
car. question.
I'm in the classical. All right, I'm in the classical.
Oh, you like
foodie videos.
you like your prestige foodies.
Yes,
Your-
yes. The people who actually make nice food every
How
single
about
day.
you give a little love to the common everyday
I don't.
creator?
Not
okay?
at all. I don't need to see you just smacking Texas Roadhouse in your car. Okay.
Okay,
What
so-
I would like to see is the process and how they make their pasta carbonara at Evaldi.
People are bringing up Scotty
Yeah, so
Scotty Davis,
Yes.
who was a good basketball player in high school at Burke.
Good for him.
And then now he reviews.
So
food.
this guy's name is Cujar.
Cuja.
Fish Lake at the lodge in Bellevue, Nebraska.
Okay,
Here
awesome.
I am.
You guys,
here
I got a question. You guys, I got a question. You're entertained by
I
that?
see that guy.
You're entertained by that? You're entertained by that dude with a crappy microphone in his car with a sandwich?
I'm not necessarily. Stop it.
Yeah. Just smacking on a TikTok. That's what you want? You want to shame
that's
me?
not what I
You
want.
want to shame me for watching a professional in a restaurant put together a
So
beautiful
he's
meal?
gotten 306
Okay, so apparently
retweets. He's gotten 794 likes. He's got 58 comments.
this is gonna blow your mind. Our insider Alyssa,
Yeah.
Cujar used to work here too.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not know that. I don't recognize him.
He used to work right next door.
But this is a while ago.
Yeah,
that
yeah, it
doesn't
was a while
surprise
ago.
me
Like
in the
before I
slightest.
started.
I don't know the timelines of everybody.
That's
Wait a minute.
incredible.
So he
This
used to be
is
on
where
398.
we make the local Omaha TikTok food people.
God.
Right here in this
I
building.
don't recognize this guy at all.
What's Alyssa's TikTok foodie coaching tree? I think she's got an elite coaching
So
tree.
many. So many.
Jeez, I'm just
Somebody take the graphic of Mac's coaching tree and just put all the Omaha foodies.
on there. I'm telling you right now, you guys find that entertaining? That stuff is disgusting.
I don't
okay?
necessarily find it entertaining. I use it as ideas of places to go.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
I
I do.
watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily interested in the people or really their content. I just want to. I'm interested in the food. That's what I'm here for.
Here,
Really.
play another one. Here, I'm
he's really good.
I'm over
So-
here at
so he's at- so
Sandpoint
here's
at
the juice
100 120th and Dodge.
You feel me?
You feel-
Grand opening joint for that NYC Deli and Juice Board.
There we go. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
didn't
Wait, what if he says a bad word? Get it out of
No,
there.
he won't. He doesn't swear.
I made my way all the way
Stay-
to the Hawaiian Bros. I got an
Ooh,
aloha
yeah.
I haven't
rice
been there.
bowl, and then all I do is I look at that guy and he's slobbering
So-
with just
But
soy
this is
sauce
what I
coming
do.
down
So
his chin.
Dago is really, really good.
This
That's
is-
who is at the juice bar.
I just sit there and I'm like, what do we get for dinner tonight? And then then you pull up your phone and it's like,
Honey,
I'm at wherever.
Honey, I'm hungry. All right, let me go on TikTok 1 second. I gotta go and see this.
Happer.
I gotta
This
go and see this guy
there-
slobber over wings for
Okay.
us to figure out how
So
we're gonna
there's a
eat
couple
tonight.
of places that I didn't know were open or had not known about that I have seen these foodies that I follow that are reviewing it, and it looks good. So I'm going to give it a try.
Exactly. And that's all it's there for.
And they make money.
I just text Michael Severe.
It's a good hustle. Oh, Severe is a great resource.
Absolutely.
here's-
Severe
Scotty.
is a great resource. That's Scotty.
Yeah.
You could text Michael like, what should I get for dinner? And he would give you 4 things.
I went to the Drover. I wanted to have like the lunch special at the Drover. Okay. Go there. They were closed for some event. Like they had like a big lunch event, so you couldn't go in there. And so I immediately text Michael and I go, hey, what do I do? And he gave me like 4 different places.
Michael should do a text service where every day he sends out a text. Just
That'd be great.
Gives you like 4
Yes.
options for
for
dinner.
food, for places to go.
Or maybe he goes more like like he makes like a map
yeah.
or something like that, and it's just got options
If-
for each
if-
day, like
if-
an advent
yes,
calendar.
Every time I go ahead and I eat somewhere, I text Michael and I go, I ate here. And he goes, good people
It's
over
like,
there.
oh yeah, that place. is
Or,
fun.
or he goes, he goes, I really like this, or I don't like that.
So I'm going to circle back to a topic that Damon and I had probably 5 years ago. The hospitals in this city have upgraded their cafeterias.
I only know about the Methodist Women's Hospital
You spent a lot of time there when your daughter was born?
when my child was born. Yeah,
How
like
was the
2
food?
days? It was good. Somebody had told me to get the breakfast burrito.
Oh, that's right.
I thought it was because I was really excited. So I was like, let's get this kid going and then I'm going to eat this breakfast burrito. But then there's like a workaround where she eats for free, but I don't. But if you like call it, but if she calls it,
Yeah.
then the whole thing is free. But I just went down there because I wanted to see the options and all that stuff. And I got the breakfast burrito and I thought it was fine. I was underwhelmed.
We had now this was in Lincoln, so not in Omaha, but someone who we worked with part-time at KLIN, their wife worked at Bryan Health. And so for that person's birthday, the wife brought in like all this food from Bryan Health. It is still to this day one of the greatest breakfasts I've ever had in my entire life. They brought in quiches, they brought in potatoes, they brought in like this farm raised like pork sausages that were from like farms in Nebraska. Like apparently the guy,
I think you could just walk in. I think you could just.
Okay, so we were told
you could just walk in and eat at a hospital.
Hospital apparently has a really, really good cafeteria with a lot of options, and they have like a professional chef.
Yeah,
you can just walk in there. You don't have to have anybody in the hospital or be in the hospital.
And then
I think I know where I'm going to lunch today.
You're gonna go to the hospital?
Why not? I'm marking off new spots. I've been trying to hit as many different spots as possible.
Now go check out the Omaha food reviewers and see which hospitals they reviewed, and
dude,
then you'll know.
My Omaha, what I choose to do, because I've told you guys this, like I got sick and tired of like going into my apartment right after the show and like becoming depressed just sitting in there. So I've spent just a lot of money just like going around and doing activities like right after the show.
Yeah.
Like when we talked about the West Roads Mall, I went to the West Roads Mall that day, and I went and I bought Christmas gifts and myself a pair of shoes.
Nice.
The day we talked about Nebraska,
what'd you think of the mall?
The very interesting clientele that are at that mall.
Okay.
Just a
What'd
lot.
you think of the mall?
Oh, the mall itself is pretty standard.
What's so different about the clientele?
It's a lot of things are going on at once. Just got to,
Were you there the day they had a fight in the food court?
No, but there was just a lot of people. There's a lot of people doing a lot of different things.
I would like to see these foodies do this, and you'd have to, get through some red tape. Why don't they do a tour of school lunches?
What are you going to do there?
I love that.
This carton of milk could taste a lot better here at Burke than it does at Central.
I think it's a good bit for this radio station.
Well, it doesn't change for Burke and Central. So OPS is all the same food. Okay, so you go OPS.
I like how you got really serious about this.
Well, as a person who has both attended a Millard school and an OPS and several OPS schools, I've seen things. I've seen how it changes.
Sure.
Right. And so at OPS is always the same: breaded chicken patty on a bun.
Hell yeah.
every day. But there's certain schools that high schools they have a little bit more a la carte.
Yes.
Go in there, grab some stuff, whatever. Pasta bars and things like that.
Aaron,
it's all good stuff.
Aaron Vick is in charge of it over at District 66. Top notch.
I have not eaten a District 66 lunch.
We were bringing in my school was bringing in high school football recruits to try and get them to play at Notre Dame College Prep, and so they would bring in guys from like Marist and Mount Carmel and like the Providence, these really good players, and they would bring them. They tour them around the school, and then they would bring them back to like the president's office, and the president would go. He would ask me, he goes, "All right, what do we need like to do differently? Like what are things we need to get better at?" And apparently enough of them were like, the cafeteria options would be great. Like if you could like upgrade your cafeteria, like more food, whatever. Dude, the next year they put thousands of dollars into the cafeteria.
If I was surprised
to give you just more and more and more, because these high school recruits were like, who, by the way, none of them they got. But they were all like, yeah, you need more options in your cafeteria. I go to Loyola, they got like 18 different options. It's like, and so they go ahead and they just invest so much. They go screw air conditioning, because the high school football recruit said they want a panini. We're gonna go ahead and now have this whole other section here.
I would love to go back to St. Pius X, where I went to grade school, and
see
go to
if it
lunch,
was actually good.
if it had improved at all.
Yeah. Anybody
Or
out
on
like
Friday, is it the same thing where the square pizza fits into the spot on the tray, and that's a chocolate milk day with a good cookie?
Yeah. So if there's anybody out there listening, I'd love to
the
come
cookies,
back.
the cookies and cafeterias,
So-
it makes
Friday,
it
the
all.
cookie was really good because it went with the chocolate milk.
I'll come and speak to your class. Prairie Wind Elementary, Morton Middle School, Central High School,
All the places that are closer to you.
Miller North, whatever. No, those are all the places I went.
Oh, okay.
So I'll come back and I'll say, I went here and then I just want to eat lunch. That's all. And I want to pay for it too. I want it to cost $2.14. Like a year.
No, do you want them to give you a card that you go up and you scan the card?
There never used to be that. I don't know what the deal is.
We had a
anymore.
punch card.
Really?
Yeah.
Ours was just in the system.
We had a laminated card.
We just had to give our student ID.
So I went to public school, and in public school we had the laminated card. But when I went to Catholic school, there was no lunches at Catholic school. You had to bring your own lunch. So you would just walk by the milk carton and grab a milk carton, and then you'd sit down and you'd eat your.
They didn't provide you lunch?
They did not provide me lunch at my Catholic grade school.
Yeah, we see what the demographic and
That's crazy.
the-
What,
Yeah.
So what'd you do?
Earning level. of
I
your parents was. That's
I had a turkey sandwich with provolone cheese and mustard.
So you packed the lunch. every day?
Yeah, every day,
Whoa.
every single day with a cosmic brownie, which I never ate the cosmic brownie. It was used for trading because cosmic brownies were gold currency.
Sure.
And then with a bag of Sun Chips, whether it be the regular Sun Chips, cheddar cheese Sun Chips,
Harvest Ched, baby.
or the garden salad.
Hey,
Sun
how
Chips.
many people do you think take advantage of the training table in Lincoln as just a regular person that can go there and eat?
A lot.
That
Well,
is not well known.
I don't know. I actually can't speak to it, but I would literally, my buddies would come and they would bring me stuff and they'd be like, hey, they had extra food. Here you go. And I would eat a beautiful burrito or a beautiful
Because a
chicken
regular
sandwich.
person can go.
You have to
it's not
reserve a
Mammal
time.
Hall. Yes, you do.
You have to
but at
reserve a time.
Omaha, where for the Exarban campus, God, what is the place?
Scott.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go there and eat as a normal person.
That's
like,
so
You
sick.
don't have to be a student. You just you have to pay like $15.
Oh.
But you can go to the
But they,
training
I
table. and
remember
eat.
that at UNO. Do they still have the food court in the main student union?
Yes,
They had some good stuff in there.
they did.
I went
would-
in there a few
I
times.
would like, I think that'd be cool if UNL decided, hey, for like a day, the class of 2027, if you guys want to eat at the training table where the athletes eat to try it out, you're allowed to do that. I think that'd be a cool little event.
Pretty cool.
You know, you can go
Because
there.
I would
You could go there.
you
on
can
your own.
to the
Yes.
athletic training table.
Yes, you do. You
At-
have to reserve a time.
Really?
That's always been. That's
Yeah.
always how it was when I was there.
At the University of Nebraska?
Yeah.
I never knew anybody who wasn't an athlete who also didn't have
Well, it's a little bit
memorials.
intimidating if you're not an athlete.
Yeah.
Because
well,
you stand out.
you gotta
unless
bring
you're there as
friends.
a guest of somebody from the athletic department.
Yeah.
But if you reserve a time, you can go and eat. I think it's still that way.
I never knew that. I didn't know anybody who ever did that. The only time I ever got training table was the guys that I knew who worked there. They'd come back with just awesome food, by the way, and just give it to me. I did not know you could reserve a time. I would
Well,
never.
you would
By the way,
also, like, if
I
you
would
live-
never do that. I would be too intimidated unless it was like a hey, like you said, I'm a guest, or they're like, hey, you're allowed to be here. But I could never imagine. Look, I ain't convinced
The
anybody
kids who
I'm
live
an
on
athlete.
campus have it pretty good though. Like you always
Able.
were able to figure out like what nights you should go to which dorm.
Yes.
Yeah, Abel Hall on Thursdays.
Although Catherine Pound is gone, they used to have a really good.
They
I
did.
think it was like a Tuesday night. It was like an Asian situation going on in there. That was awesome.
Steak night at HSS at Harper, Schramm, and Smith every
That's-
every Thursday. That was
where I
elite.
lived.
Yeah, I lived in Schramm.
Harper 8.
I was
have,
I was
Se-
friends with Harper 5. I go to Harper 5 a lot, but I lived in Schramm.
Selick,
5.
when I was at UNL,
Dude.
Selick had the best food hall.
Selick still does because you go to the
But
Qdoba.
Selick was supposed to be torn down.
It's-
They're just keeping it open for Nebraska.
You go in
football.
there and you order Qdoba. They got a Qdoba in there, and you can get like a burrito, and you can use your swipes. You can use your swipes in your end
Okay.
bucks.
By the way, somebody just sent me. Let me give a Jordan here. Just sent me this story that UNL put out at the beginning of the season. The training table is now
Closed.
limited to just student athletes. I believe it's because since they moved it into the athletic
Oh,
building,
gotcha.
it used to be downstairs in Memorial Stadium. There, you walk right by it. But actually, August 20th, 2018. That's when it closed. That would have been before you
Oh.
went to school. So
Oh.
you didn't have the same thing we did.
I never, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was I was honestly stunned when you guys said that because if I'm being real, I think if I heard that, I would have heard of at least one person who did that, and then I probably would have been like,
It was
I wanna
definitely a
ch-
thing.
I
when
want
was
to
there.
eat what the athletes eat.
Can you imagine if you were like a collector and you would just go to the training table and eat with the athletes, have them sign a bunch of stuff?
Oh my God.
That'd be crazy.
That's probably why they closed it. People were walking out there with their
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
Can you sign this?
Well, I don't
Bear
think.
Day?
I don't think.
Nice triple double the
I-
other night.
I don't think students are as like that as you think.
What do you mean?
I don't think students are going there and being like, "Hey,
Oh,
other
no,
fellow
not students. I'm talking
I'm
about
a
like
regular
people.
fan.
Oh,
yeah.
regular fans.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I could totally see
Yeah.
that.
All you have to do is look at the people that wait for Harper Murray for her to sign stuff.
That's crazy.
Guy had
Yeah.
a duffel bag. What was it? One of the last regular season matches. Harper Murray has already changed. She's ready to leave the arena. And there's a guy literally with a duffel bag, like
Oh
to
my
have her
God.
sign. And she was kind enough to sign. I don't think she signed everything. Because
Come-
the guy like he put the duffel bag on the floor. He reached into
That's
it.
wild.
And he had like 15 items.
If you're hurt, you got to be like, hey, I'll give you like 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Well, but so
but
Bud
she can't say no, and she can't say no to anybody
so
because
should.
everybody's watching her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once she says no,
She's
to
just be like, I'll give you
somebody-
2.
So-
all right.
so
I'm
Gary-
signing all of it.
Gary could confirm this, but I was at a restaurant that is, in my apartment that I was just eating at, and Bud Crawford was there, okay, because he just has connections to it. And so he was with his family or whatever, and they were hanging out. And a guy came with a big box of stuff to sign, right? And Bud knew him. Bud and him had a relationship. But Bud said to the guy, he goes, "I have to make it out to somebody. Like I have
That's a good rule.
I have to write to blank."
That's a good
So
rule.
that way it can't be like taken and pawned off and stuff like so.
All
And
right.
that's I think more baseball players are doing that too, where they
That's a
go
good way to do it.
to whoever.
So I think from Bud's standpoint, which I love, so everybody has him sign boxing gloves,
Yeah.
Yes.
and he likes to personalize it because when he first got it big and started signing boxing gloves, where would they go? People would resell them.
100%.
So it's harder to resell if it says to Connor, to
Good one.
Matt, or to
Yeah.
Josh.
That's a good workaround.
Yeah. So that's what he does.
It'll also
But
make it so you don't have to sign 500
can,
things.
can
Yeah.
you imagine though if like 2 weeks before Dylan transferred, you just had some random people eating at the training table, just being like, "Where you going, Dylan? Where you going? You transferring, Dylan? How's the leg?"
No, did he eat at the training table?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
He wasn't on
Does
campus very much
Yeah.
outside of football.
Get a Casa
All right,
Divina gift card.
Keep refreshing. See if we got an Instagram post.
I'm done. I'm gonna take his Instagram post off notifications. I don't care.
What are you guys saying?
Because
For him to
we
put out his Instagram goodbye
Oh yeah.
when
Why?
okay, so wait.
because he had an Instagram post to say hello.
When
So if you full question, if you say hello,
look,
do you have to say goodbye?
Look, here's
I don't
the-
know. I don't
When-
that's okay.
when-
We
when
take
it-
out a full
when
page
the-
ad in the Journal Star.
when the original God story
How would that go over?
that'd be awesome.
poorly probably.
When the original God story Instagram post got taken down, Gary and I both admittingly were interested on like the saga of this and why it came to be. So we were like, oh, we wonder when he'll officially make the post. And then a day went by, and then 2 days went by,
Yeah.
and now
Turn it
seven.
a bit.
That's okay.
Now 7 days have gone by, and if I'm being honest with you, I couldn't give a rat's ass. He's gone.
I absolutely do not care.
I don't care.
You remember when did Adrian put out a post right away?
Oh yeah.
And Nebraska football, somebody in the football office in social media reposted it.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Adrian's
Oops.
persona non grata. You can't do that. He's so bad.
So
All right,
bad.
have a good day tonight. Good luck tonight. That's a Utah Tech.
I know.
How much
Watch
do you know
out.
about Utah Tech?
Well, I know they used to be called Dixie State.
Yes.
What?
Hmm.
That's awesome.
They're not anymore.
Their big man got suspended earlier this year.
For
How'd you know
How-
that?
Fighting
yeah.
somebody.
oh,
Okay.
ooh,
Nice.
Great bit, Josh.
and
champion.
congratulations to
champion Josh.
Josh Hodgson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
I-
what'd you get? Influenza?
I got influenza. for
A
my
or
child.
B? A or B?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
A.
I think I love the booth cam. I've told you that before. You four make a great combination.
Thank you.
Rowdy group.
Thank you.
It's a rowdy group. All right. That's Crossover, powered by Every Level Concrete Repair in Omaha at everylevelconcrete.com. It is Monday. We'll start things off next.
That's the Crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny for your Monday afternoon, warm and breezy. A high today in Omaha of 58 degrees with gusts out of the south-southwest up to 25 miles an hour. Tonight, becoming partly cloudy with lighter winds shifting out of the north, little chilly with a low of 35. 50s stick around as we head throughout the week and on into Christmas. Still looking dry. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
Kids don't like to miss out, and neither do you. When sore throats, ear infections, or sinus trouble put you on the sideline, trust the experts at Boys Town Ear, Nose, and Throat. With specialized care for the whole family and quick and friendly scheduling, you won't miss a thing. Boys Town Ear, Nose, and Throat can get you back to life. Visit boystownhospital.org.
By texting 24700, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from J.Crew Factory. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at jcrew.com.
Need last minute.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, here we go. Welcome in. Happy Monday. It's the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Odson back with you. Welcome back, Josh.
Hello.
We missed you dearly last week.
I missed all my friends.
We got to know Joey, and we got to meet a new friend, young Jake.
Oh, young Jake.
And Sipple even came on the show last week.
Whoa.
So I told
I
told Sipple to give me a question that he was going to ask Rule, because the press conference was going to start 2 minutes after he got off the phone with us. And it turned out to be 20 minutes after he got off the phone with us. But I told him, all right, go ahead. Tell me what one of your questions is. And he asked me the question, or he said the question about, is this a is this a program reset? The one that triggered Rule on Friday? And he kind of asked it in a very simple way, and I told him to tighten it up a little bit. And then he tightened it up, and all of a sudden, Matt Rule got triggered at the press conference on Friday. So that's really what you missed last week.
Was that the press conference where Matt Rule was wearing the backwards camo hat?
He was wearing it frontwards, but it was camouflage.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He also did a radio show where that hat, I believe, was backwards.
Okay, that's what I remember.
Earlier in the week. But yes, good to have our dear friend Josh back. You could ask Josh about the tales from the road that only made him sick. I have some inside sources other than you on the Iowa Western Plain.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I painted out a grim picture on the return flight home, even though that they had just won a national championship.
Yes, everyone had influenza. Either during the semifinal game or the final game.
That sucks. that sucks. But in a way, it's a good microcosm for junior college football. You know, I'm
just glad they won.
We just won. We're on top of the world. This feels awesome. Also, everyone in the entire plane is sick.
I mean, had they lost and I got
it would have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have liked that very much.
No, I would be mad.
All right. So we welcome Josh back, and we welcome you to the show today. Sam McKewon's going to join us coming up at 1. He is our lineup today. Sam McKewon, I am the lineup, powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We want to hear from you all today, 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline. You can call our text set number, tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor or Josh Show at 1620thezone.com. On the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. Elsewhere today, Creighton is back. Creighton is back.
I'm hearing rumors, rumblings.
It's weird. It's really weird. We'll talk about they play tonight against Utah Tech, formerly known as Dixie State. We had a Barricade triple-double last night.
Again.
The big, beautiful Barricade game last night. They were in sleepy mode a little bit last night, but got out of it and got into Christmas break with an undefeated record. We'll have Matt Rule getting angry about a variety of different things from Friday. We have an award to give away today.
Whoa.
Poopiest Pants of the Weekend.
Oh, okay.
Who will win Poopiest Pants of the Weekend? Who had the poopiest pants this weekend?
What a prestigious honor.
It was it Ed Cooley who threw a water bottle at a child?
Respect.
Or was it any of the football teams who, played poopy pants football over the weekend?
There were a few.
We'll give you the nominees throughout the show today. Also, yes, when we start the top of the 11 o'clock hour, we are going to get. I haven't reread what I wrote, so Saturday night playoff games wrap up, and I see all the takes from everybody. And this is so predictable. It's coming from a mile away. I see all the takes from everybody, and I watch the games. I know what happened in the games. I completely understand that. I was sitting there scrolling aimlessly in my bed, getting ready to go to sleep, and I saw one tweet from one college football person that, for whatever reason, it was just the nail on the coffin. It just set me over the edge. And then I pulled out my phone and I opened up my app where I type in our show rundown. And I just started furiously pounding just typing it, all stream of consciousness thoughts, all stream.
Really?
And so I just left it.
Okay.
And it's a topic.
Because I read it today.
It's a full-blown topic.
And I enjoyed it.
It was me in a fit of rage on Saturday night, live from my bed. And I haven't reread it since, and that's going to be the topic. I don't know what it's going to say. Hopefully I can conjure up some of the same emotions
that's important.
That I had on Saturday night. So that is what's coming up on the show today. Oh, yeah, Andrew writes in on Twitter. Have you seen what DK Metcalf did yesterday? He is the runaway winner for Poopy Pants of the Weekend. That he is a nominee. We need to put him in the nominees.
Certainly.
Yeah. You can't punch a guy with blue hair in the face. Even if he has blue hair, you can't punch him in the face.
Also, there were a lot of people that should have stopped that from happening.
Yes.
Like in the
How is he
video
over
clip,
there by himself?
in the video clip, there's a police officer and a security guard.
And the guy with blue hair was down there by himself too. It was so odd. Yeah, he's a nominee. Well, we'll see who wins the Poopy Pants of the weekend this weekend. We'll be back and fire things up with my stream of consciousness, college football playoff anger. Coming up next on 1620 The Zone. But first, football season is in full swing. And however you'd like to get in on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Nebraska. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $75 of bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. So download the app today and use promo code HAPPER1620 to score $75 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term predict refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing good terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
A lot more good submissions have come in for poopiest pants of the weekend. This is good.
Is this going to become a thing?
You know how we are with segments and blank of the weekend?
Yeah.
I don't, like, we've had a lot of different just random pop-up one-timers. What did we do? Like Wikipedia page of the day?
Yeah.
We used to have a whole winners of the weekend segment, losers of the weekend. I just, sometimes we take things that happen and then we just, twist it just to make a little bit of a bit out of it. But turns out a lot of people do this every weekend. A lot of people poop their pants every weekend. Black Cat says the Yukon guy who puked mid-game. That's a guy for
a player or a fan.
I actually didn't see that. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure what happened with that one.
Do I dare look this up?
Yeah, I mean, you probably get there.
As somebody who has recently puked, it's fine.
Oh. You've puked?
Connor, I was a rotting corpse for 3 days.
Was it really that bad?
Yeah, it was. Do not recommend.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, Thursday, Friday, Saturday was bad. It was bad.
Okay, yesterday we were okay.
We were turning a corner Saturday night, Sunday.
All right, text from the 531. Poopiest pants. I had food poisoning and other stuff all weekend. Does that count? Yeah, we'll put you in. We can put you in the nominees. That's for sure.
UConn basketball star gets ill on the court after drinking pickle juice at halftime.
Yikes. Okay. Was it solo ball? Is that why? Was it solo ball? I don't know. I didn't see this.
Silas DeMary Jr.
Okay. All right.
DeMary.
Gotcha. Yeah, DeMary. Yeah.
DeMary.
Okay. Yeah, DK Metcalf, the guy with the blue hair, any of these people could win potentially our award. So we will keep that in mind as we go on throughout the show today. We had college football playoff games this past weekend, Josh, or did we? Were they so bad that maybe they shouldn't exist anymore? So before I get into my stream of consciousness thoughts that I haven't looked at, that I wrote Saturday night live from my bed at about midnight, here's what happened. Alabama beat Oklahoma 34-24. By the way, if there were odds, now I do have my thumb on the scale here a little bit, considering I am the person who gets to choose the award winner. If there was an odds board for poopiest pants of the weekend, Oklahoma would be like a minus 750 favorite.
Oh, wow.
At this point.
Heavy favorite.
Those were some of the poopiest pants that I have ever seen. 17-0 in an instant, and then all gone in an instant. In an instant. It was shocking.
Most predictable poopy pants also.
I don't know, man. Like I guess, but if they catch that touchdown up 17-7, I think that's where they lost the game.
Okay.
They throw the long ball up and the guy's got 4 yards of separation behind. It's a touchdown, right? They make it 24-7. It might be over at that point. Because then you've like Alabama's got their touchdown and then they fought back. Then there was the drop punt and the pick six. And it was just like, and then to make it all worse and really put the cherry on top for Oklahoma, you had the whole kicking fiasco at the end of the game, which was one of the fun. I mean, at that point, it was just comical.
Yeah.
At that point, it was just funny. You did the thing, which I don't disagree with, but you did the thing where you kick the field goal and get to a touchdown game just to do the onside kick as quickly as you can, and then hopefully get it and score a touchdown. And they missed it. Or did they? They might have made it. He might have made it. It looked like he made it.
They kept showing the replay, and I'm like, guys, I think
every time you show this, I think he made it.
Yeah.
And
you keep telling me it doesn't. You're trying to gaslight me.
And then on the second one, a last ditch effort, he missed it short. The poor guy wearing biker shorts, kicking with his left leg.
I was literally yelling at my television. I was in my house all by myself. Guys, I've taken a lot of cold medicine, but I think this kick went in. I think it's good.
I need someone to yell at about this, please. He made that kick. Then to start off our day on Saturday, these are the games for my eyes, by the way. I was sitting there doing the women's Creighton game with Schreiner, and he kind of had it up on his phone, and every once in a while he would point to it. And it would say the same thing every time. It would. 0-0, 3-3, Did anything actually happen in this game? Turned out yes, but it wasn't until the very end. So there's some pretty poopy pants for Marcel Reed and them out there. Miami moves on to the next round. Tulane and Ole Miss. Yep.
Went almost exactly as it did in the regular season.
Interesting. And Oregon,
Lane Kiffin apparently good for 4 points.
Oregon, James Madison, and people will tell you that the bad part about this game was the fact that James Madison was in the playoff. I will tell you the bad part about that game was that it was 100 hours long. It was so long. Way, way, way too long.
The NFL game started after it, and I think it finished before.
Ugh. Okay, so that's what happened.
But the Dukes covered.
Nice job by them. Yeah, Black Cat's really on this halftime ties thing. And
yeah,
he's nailing it.
He had halftime tie, Miami win.
Look at that. All right, so here we go. Here's what it says. Here's what I wrote.
Okay.
Here's what I typed furiously into my phone on Saturday night. I can't believe how soft you people are. All right, that's the subject line. Why is everybody so soft? Here's what triggered it. I remember this part, so I'll tell you from my brain now. I saw a tweet from David Pollock. I don't know why it was this one. It was just a never-ending string of like, see what happens, see, this is, I mean, look at this. As, Tulane and James Madison are getting run off the field in their college football playoff games. And the David Pollock tweet said, I think it said, this is so bad for our sport. And that was it. And that's when I got my phone out and started typing. All right. So, all right, let me try and conjure up some emotion here. Here's what it says. Wah, 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 wah. I'm going to cry because I didn't get the best football game ever in front of my face at all times. You know what? I'm actually going to change the playoff so we don't get these. Actually, you can't, because we forgot how sports work. When you play the Super Bowl and it sucks, there aren't a bunch of people saying it's bad for the sport and we need to change the playoff format so that we never get a bad Super Bowl again. We just say, darn it, and we try again next year. Because I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just, the fact that we change college football so much. Not everything gets to be your way all the time. You all are such whiny, all the college football media people, and if people want to change the playoff all the time, that part of it was so predictable. We talked about it on Friday. Such whiny babies. I'm so sick of these people. Maybe, I don't know. And I was trying to figure out, okay, why does this thought process exist? Why? What happened in the collective brain of college football people that made us like this? And I go back to the offseason and the start of these seasons, and there's all the football sickos, and they're like, I can't wait for Maction, and they say any football is the best football ever. And so maybe that thought is just maybe you've tricked yourself into believing that every football game is the best thing you've ever seen. Okay.
Hall of Fame game tonight. Oh, yeah.
Right. So you might think that's harmless and you might be joking, but now I'm starting to think that phrase is a serious threat against our society. Maybe it's the football sickos who all off season long are like, oh my God, football is my life. Football is oxygen. I can't wait if I don't get any football right now, I'll die. Who lied to these people and told them that the games were always good? Whoever told you that, they lied to you. This is not how sports work. You don't get to win every time. And I'm not talking about the winners and losers of the football game. I'm talking about you, the viewer of the game. If you go into every game with the expectation of I have to have a good game in front of me, you will not like the sport, because it turns out that we only get good, like really, really classically good games. I don't know, like less than 10% of the time, 5% of the time. That's what makes those moments great. They happen sparingly. We have to suffer and sit through all the garbage to watch the good games and enjoy the good games. The good games aren't as good without the crap. And the second we get the crap, people are like, we have to make sure there's never crap again. Grow up. Grow up, everyone. And keep watching. Unless you're too soft to keep watching we have to find out a way to not get these people in the playoff anymore. We can't allow this to happen. This is going to be horrible for our sport. People will stop watching, and we have to find a way to just, I don't know. We're going to choose the best teams who we think are the best teams. Because once again, when we do this, because this will happen, it'll change. It'll change again because people, want it that way, and everybody listens, right? So they'll change it again. And instead of the situation where we had this year, where we had 2 group of 5 teams in the playoff, we'll have, Texas and Notre Dame or whatever taking their place. And then the games will be just as bad. The games will be the games will be horrific. And then people will be like, what? What are we supposed to do now? We have to change this. We have to change the sport again so that this never happens again. I don't know where we got the idea that just because it's a playoff game, that just because it is an important game, that it's good. It doesn't guarantee you anything. We've had so many games over the years that were built up to be games of the century or had these absolutely, incredible stakes that were tied to them. And the games just sucked. And sometimes it works out that way. But I'm telling you, if you keep it the way it is, and this is not me advocating for them to keep it the way it is right now, it's me advocating a little bit for less change, which I suppose in theory could mean keeping it the way it is right now. But if you keep it the way it is right now, and we end up with a situation like we did this year, at some point, there's going to be a group of 5 team that upsets somebody. At some point, it's going to be amazing. At some point, there will be a group of 5. There will be a Boise State. There will be a Tulane. There will be a whatever that comes along, App State, something like that. I don't know. That comes around, and they go to Indiana. They go to, any program, whatever, Ohio State, something like that, and they win. It will happen. I'm telling you, if you play it out long enough, it will happen. They won't go undefeated forever. And what we're gonna end up doing here is we're gonna take this stupid thing and we're gonna change it again, and we're going to reset our ability to have any sort of sample size in the sport to actually evaluate if this works or not, if this is a good thing or not, if this is the proper way to crown a champion or not. We're never going to know the answer to it. We're never going to know the answer to that question, because you soft-ass people are sitting there and saying, why can't I get a good game every time? I just want a good... You are throwing, what is the phrase? Throwing the dirty clothes out with the dishwasher. What is the phrase, Josh?
Throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Stop it. You clearly don't see the forest for the trees. You just see what's in front of you. It's sick. I don't understand how no one is talking about this. Everyone's like, how do we fix it? How do we fix it? What do we do? How do we make this a different thing? Get your grubby little fingers off it and sit back and watch and let it play out. That's it. That's it.
Notre Dame would have smoked both those teams.
Come up with the right formula that you think is the best, not based on the results of the games that you get, but based on who the most deserving teams are to make the college football playoff, whether it's 8, whether it's 12, whether it's 16, whatever, come up with it, let it sit there, and keep it there for 30 years. You will get your good games. I promise. We had to go years, decades without a halfway decent Super Bowl. We had to go decades without a halfway decent national championship. Without, like, none of the games were good. Okay? And eventually it is. And you're like, wow. Wasn't that great? Wasn't it all worth it? And instead, everyone is sitting there trying to manipulate the formula so that they get good games every time. So entitled. Imagine everybody thinking, oh, I am a fan and I watch this. I pay X amount of money to watch college football games on my television every Saturday. I am entitled to good games. No, you're not. You're not a part of this. It's sick.
You want to schedule
disgusting
FCS teams? You want to schedule the little guys? And those wins credit you to go to the playoff? You got to let them in.
I don't care what they do. Like, I would rather, I want them to have a spot. I don't care what they do. I'm just saying, don't change it every year. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. But I'm speaking into a complete void at this point, because all I heard on Saturday was, well, this clearly doesn't work. Let's try again.
I think it worked pretty well this weekend.
I guess we'll try again. Okay. I got some responses from you guys that we'll get to here in just a second. All right. So was I maniacally rambling on my phone on Saturday night? Maybe. I liked where I was going, though.
You were also right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Here is what do we got? Jason on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hey, Jason, what's going on?
Oh, not much. I just have a simple question. If we put the top 12 teams in every year, that would make sense with what you're saying. Sure, we would have some bad games here or there, but that's not what the argument's about. The argument is about, we want to see the best teams play the best teams. So you cannot clearly tell me that Tulane and James Madison University
by the way,
are
Jason,
clearly a top 12 teams.
Jason, you're just assuming that I want that. I want the most deserving teams. I want the most deserving teams in the playoff. And I don't believe any 3-loss teams are deserving of going to the college football playoff.
Okay. That would be incorrect as well in my mind.
Okay, all right. Why?
Because a 3-loss Texas team would completely dog walk.
I don't care.
Tulane.
I don't care. You don't get
Madison.
you don't get to make it if you lose 3 games. That's,
Okay, well, let's go use the FCS playoffs as a example. They do this. They pick the top teams and put them in there, and they're not worried about losses. They put the best teams in there, and their formula has not changed.
They have a 32-team tournament.
Okay, the 32 best teams in the FCS. Now, you can't do that at the highest level, because as we see, it only goes about, 20, 25 deep team-wise at the...
I think it only goes about 6, but I don't know,
Well, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I'd like a 14 playoff with the top 4 teams or top 8, but everybody wants everybody to be happy. So I just say, okay, let's just do the top 12. The FCS does it. They do their top teams. They have great playoffs, home and home. My point is, I just don't think that teams like JMU and Tulane deserve to be there, because they get their butts kicked. And maybe they beat a team once every 10 years, but I still would rather see Notre Dame or Texas in the playoffs this year than what we just saw Saturday night, is what my point is.
Yeah.
I don't...
Thanks for the call, Jason. Well, I think it's a fair point. Like, people will say, hey, look, man, I just want the best teams, right? But then you get into who's deciding. So there used to be a so I'll tell you why I don't care about watching 3-loss Texas or 3-loss Alabama or 3-loss whatever in the college football playoff. There used to be this sort of uniqueness and this novelty to unique and fun matchups. And that's not the case anymore, because our conferences are too big. we're just going to end like you're just going to end up getting Texas and another school from the SEC, and you're just going to end up getting Alabama and another school from the SEC. Like you want to see the best games and you want to see the best teams in those games. Well, the best teams are subjective. I would rather make it a situation where you have to qualify for it. You know, if you do 8 teams and you say, all right, the power conferences, conference champions make it, and then there's, you know, 1 spot for a group of 5, and there's 2 at-larges, and that's it. You're going to get probably a 3 or 4 loss team in there. I mean, this year would have been Duke, champion of the ACC, champion of our hearts. Duke would have made the college football playoff if you would have made it if you would have gave the conferences automatic bids if they win their conference championship game, which you should, by the way. You should, which would give you more incentive if you're the conferences to make nonsensical tiebreakers to get your best 2 teams in the conference championship game. Probably bring back divisions, I would hope, I would think, but it's long gone. The conferences are way too big. The conferences are way for themselves at this point in the game, and you know they just want to make this so it sounds like if you're like Jason, I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but like if you're like Jason, you want the best teams, which sounds like you just want the Big Ten SEC Invitational.
Yeah, do you want the best teams or do you want the biggest brands?
Correct. It's possible that all of the best 12 teams come from the Big Ten and the SEC. You want the best 12 teams? You're going to make it become a Big Ten SEC Invitational. You probably like Petitti's plan, Tone's plan, the whole we automatically get 4 in because here we are the best conference, and you know you are manipulating the playoff format for the current state of the conferences, which is not how college football should work. Not how college football should work. You should have a playoff. You should build around it and play to it. Not change the playoff to reflect the current strengths and weaknesses of whichever conference we have. And yeah, make the bids a situation where you know when you're in and you know when you're not in. Take the guesswork out of it, with the exception of 2 wild cards or whatever it might be. So, I mean, I'm not even settled on one way or the other what they should do as far as how many teams get into the playoff and stuff like that. Frankly, I mean, we don't have, in my opinion, for how I like college football, like I don't think we have 12 good enough teams to, you know, fill it out, whether you put in all Power 5 teams or 2 group of 5 teams. So, like I said, the difference with it this year, if you're to apply the argument to this season, which I think a lot of people are, and they're not looking at the grand scheme of things, I much rather would have had Tulane and James Madison in the playoff this year than I would have watched undeserving teams make the playoff. I just would have, because I think the results would have been the same or similar at the very least, you know? And I think there's intrigue and excitement about putting the group of 5 teams in because like you said, Josh, at the beginning of it, like they play each other. They use them for schedules in the regular season. It is not like what Nick Saban said. We talked about what Saban said on Friday, which is AAA versus major leagues. Right. It's not that.
Yeah.
They're in the same league. The Dodgers don't get to play the Albuquerque Isotopes in the middle of the season. All right. They don't.
Sometimes the Rockies seem that way, but they're a Major League Baseball team.
Aren't the Albuquerque Isotopes the AAA of the Rockies? Something it
might be.
Whatever. Don't get sidetracked here. All right.
Bit of breaking news in college football, if you'd like it.
Oh, really? What do we got?
Notre Dame has announced a home with BYU.
Oh, that's nice.
What's meaningful about that? It means that Notre Dame and USC have failed to reach an agreement to extend their rivalry that has taken place most years since 1926.
Does that mean we can get a Big Ten football schedule for next year now?
Obviously not.
That's what Joey's theory was, Mr. Schedule.
Oh,
That the Notre Dame USC was just holding up the entire release of everything?
well,
I don't know.
don't have to worry about that anymore.
No. Wow. Tradition is dead, apparently.
Got to see what Scott Wolf says about this.
Yes, you do. Please check that out and let me know. Michael writes in.
Michael,
on
hi.
the on Twitter. Don't we know that this isn't the best option? All for the little guy, and I don't want to throw any babies out, but in no world should two group of 5 teams ever make the playoff. It's simple. They don't qualify unless they rank inside the top 12. Keep in mind, it's the conference's own, it's the ACC's own stupidity why this even happened.
That's right.
Correct. It's their own stupidity why this happened. They had dumb tiebreaker rules, which allowed Duke to get into the conference title game and win it.
Duke.
4 or 5 loss Duke, whatever it might be. I'm just saying, you people are soft. That's that. I'm going to go back to the very beginning here. From the 402.
Hi, 402.
CFB is starting to have the same problem that the NBA has had for a while. The off the field / off the court drama is more entertaining than the actual product on the field and on the court. Oh, Texter, I don't think that's right at all. This stuff sucks. This stuff in college football sucks. The product is great. The football is awesome. It is not. The football is much better than talking about all this other stuff all off season long. It is nauseating to talk about what the conferences want, what the conferences should do, and who's in what conference, and TV deals, and who wants to leave whatever conference, and all the, all the games that whoever likes to play with in the playoff. It is nauseating to talk about that stuff. So I completely disagree. Like I don't think it's that, but it is quite the sideshow.
Yes, it is. And all but what? 8 teams are in off-season issues mode right now, right?
Yeah, the portal is also going on.
NIL.
Well, kind of. The portal's not actually on right now, but the people are going into the portal.
All those off-season stories that we hate to talk about but have to talk about. Everybody,
welcome back.
All but 8 teams are focused on that right now, right?
Welcome back, everyone. All right. If we get any comments from the YouTube that I need to bring up, I kind of missed. Let's see. J-Man writes in, we can rebuild the BCS. D'Lo writes in, issue this year was there were 2 group of 5 teams due to a horrible mega conferences and nonsensical tiebreakers. Thank you.
Bingo.
Thank you. We will hear from Matt Rule. You think I was triggered? I bet you're going to like what Matt Rule had to say on Friday. He's not want people talking about the program reset. He's not happy about it.
Again?
Well, that's up for you to decide.
Okay.
He's not putting it that way. That's up for you to decide. Sam McKewon's going to join us at 1. We still have plenty to come. The Connor Happer Show in 1620 The Zone. wondered what was going on MLB Network today.
Some hot stove.
I figured they would have live talk about the Royals potentially,
Getting
making
Nick Cage back.
making a run at Jarren Duran or something. Anybody. I think that's people. It's actually been a good couple weeks for the Royals. I was upbeat about the Royals last week when you were gone.
I bet. They're going to steal the Declaration of Independence now.
What do you keep saying about Nick Cage? Why do you keep saying
they got Strom back?
You think he looks like Nick Cage?
America thinks he looks like Nick Cage.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh,
I didn't notice that. That's the first time I'm hearing about this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just remember him as a good left-handed reliever who used to play for the Royals. I'm too baseball pills.
Not everything's about ball.
I guess not in this case. So anyway, on MLB Network today, we have David Wells' perfect game from 1998. Right now, we got LaTroy Hawkins on the bump for the Twins against Jorge Posada at the plate. May 17th, 1998. Famously, of course, David Wells was he drunk or was he hungover? Was he like Jack Black? Was he like Mr. Schneebly?
Depends on who you ask.
I'm hungover, which means I was drunk yesterday. I need him to put that score bug back up so I can see what inning it is, see where the drama's coming. They just keep showing really, really tight shots of LaTroy Hawkins' face.
David Wells famously pitched his perfect game for the Yankees on May 17th, 1998, while extremely hungover. Claiming he was
drunk
half
yesterday.
He was half drunk after partying with SNL's Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers.
That's right, yeah.
Even describing his hangover as skull rattling.
Dude, you're an alcoholic. Bottom of the second. So we got a long way to go in the Bronx. But David Wells is 6 up, 6 down. And he's drunk now.
Reportedly partied with SNL cast members until 5:30 a.m. He got an hour of sleep and arrived at Yankee Stadium with bloodshot eyes.
That must have been a good episode of SNL. Let's see.
Yeah.
So this is a Sunday afternoon?
I guess so. That would be my guess.
May 16th, 1998?
Yes.
Now this is a rabbit hole that I want to go down.
I like where we're headed.
May 16th, 1998, SNL episode. Here we go.
That would have been maybe the season finale.
The 446th episode of Saturday Night Live, hosted by Buck Henry. Musical guest Semisonic.
Oh, closing time, am I right?
Can we get some they did closing time.
Well, yeah.
They did closing time first, and then they did Made to Last in the second one, which nobody watches the second musical performance.
No.
The second musical performance is when everybody gets ready to go to bed. Then they watch the end of SNL, and then they could just pick up and go to bed afterwards.
That's right.
Can I get like Al Franken was featured in this episode.
Okay.
I have no further information. No further information about what happened. Maybe did David Wells make an appearance, or was he just partying? I think he just joined on for the party, it looks like. There you go. That's as far as this rabbit hole's going, I guess.
He appeared in a Yankee Wives sketch with Jeter
He
and
did.
Cone in 2001.
He did, yes. That was later. I remember that. Because Jeter played, they just put like some melons in Jeter's shirt.
Yeah.
Jeter was good on SNL. I always liked Jeter on SNL.
Classic SNL.
Derek Jeter's Taco Hole. Derek Jeter's Taco Hole. That was a great sketch. Good job. Black Cat writes in, David Wells, I want to party with you. Tracy Morgan got that. I keep seeing videos of Tracy Morgan just like doing random stuff in an airport. You seen Tracy Morgan lately?
Not since he puked at Madison Square Garden.
All right, so like in the last like 12 months, Tracy Morgan has puked at Madison Square Garden. Somebody saw him at the Omaha airport recently.
Whoa.
I saw a video of him at the Omaha airport. And then I saw another video of him, and maybe it was the same one, but he was like just by himself at the airport gate with his headphones on, just ripping the loudest singing you could possibly hear. and nobody did anything because it was Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, I mean,
even if you're Tracy Morgan, you could make a fool of yourself at the airport.
The guy's very rich.
Got a tweet from Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
This is the start of my rant. Ironic that Connor Happer is whining in college football. Do I whine about college football? The only thing I will admit to whining about is the fact that the dumb conferences are too big. But that was a central part of my argument for whining about the whiners of college football. I lament the fact that the conferences are too big, probably a little bit too much. I will take some personal responsibility for that. It's the boogeyman. It's the root of all the issues. Okay. But I that's what I keep going back to on everything. So I do complain about that. Elsewhere, I don't know. How much do I really whine about college football, Josh? You tell me. Give it to me straight.
We're probably more positive than the other shows
about college football.
Yeah, just
general.
I
don't know. Gary and Matt are pretty positive.
Yeah.
They don't talk. They don't. They're just like, they just go with the flow.
That's true.
Josh and John just talking about analytics.
So much data on that show. Have a take.
Chris writes in, poll question. Have you seen Tracy Morgan lately?
I saw Tracy Morgan at a local establishment one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Which local establishment?
It was a place where
the players play?
Some women go to work their way through college.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, it was not actually, because all the attention was on him.
Oh, it wasn't cool.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was like, oh, this will be great. Well, we're at this place and Tracy's here too. Great. Okay. But then it was, oh, everyone working here is only paying attention to the rich person. Okay.
So you were jealous.
A little bit. Yeah.
That is a little bit disappointing. Yep. David Wells is still getting outs, by the way. Anyway, we'll hear from Matt Rule in the noon hour. We have a few minutes here. I think it's time to talk about Creighton being back.
Okay, I've heard rumors of this.
All right. So first of all, here's what you need to know. Before all you get your phones out and you start furiously typing into them, oh, here we go. Creighton wins 2 games, and all of a sudden Connor's like they're back. Let me just set it up first, okay? So the Big East sucks. Plain and simple. However, the Big East being bad is quite possibly going to turn out to be Creighton's saving grace in all this, which, I mean, that's kind of like the Big East is not going to be a meat grinder here this year. And then, of course, you have to probably steal a game with UConn or St. John's somewhere along the way in order for, for the path. You know what the path is, Josh?
I've heard a lot of Creighton fans talking about the path.
I think the path is 15-5, right? 15-5 of the Big East. You're 2-0 right now with a plus 60 whatever point differential. Not that counts.
It's good for the net.
It is good for the net. The net is going to love that. The KenPom loves it. That's for sure. Creighton's back higher ranked in KenPom than they were a year ago today.
What?
They had Ryan Kalkbrenner last year.
All right.
They don't anymore, famously. But you look at the schedule and you're like, all right, I don't see anything too crazy on there. You started off with Xavier and Marquette, and traditionally these 2 games, the beginning of the season that get split off for whatever reason, before New Year, they have been a bit of a challenge for Creighton in years past. But Marquette is quite bad.
I've heard this.
I mean, Marquette has traditionally been one of the toughest outs in the league. They might have been one of the worst Big East teams that I've seen Creighton play in their time in the conference. They were, I mean, they're right down there with some of the DePaul teams, some of the Seton Hall teams, like, I guess recent Seton Hall teams, some of the Georgetown teams. They were bad. And their saving grace was the fact that they had Chase Ross, But they had all the hallmarks too of all the bad Big East teams. So what happens with all the bad Big East teams I don't know. There might have to be a study done on this at some point. When a Big East team knows that they're bad and knows that they're going to lose a game, they just decide that they want to start dunking on people. And Marquette just looked like they had took it to a personal place where they were like, all right, we're not going to win today. We're down by 30. We're down by 25. I just would like to end up on a poster. I'd like to make a really cool dunk. I'd like to put it on a highlight video, and that's what I want to do with my life today. Not necessarily think about winning a basketball game. There were many opportunities for Marquette to do that, and they didn't. We got Ed Cooley. Respect to Ed Cooley, hucking a water bottle at a little baby in the front row. He's been suspended, by the way. So before you get on me about being, the Creighton being back thing, let me say first that the Big East is in a very, very tough spot. With that being said, I don't think anybody saw coming what they did this past week to sort of turn around their season a little bit. And it's not only the fact that they won by 41-21, it's how it looked. And it looks night and day different from what it did. If you flash back to the Nebraska game, if you flash back to 2 Sundays ago,
when Creighton lost?
When Creighton got absolutely hammered and bludgeoned by a much better Nebraska team? Yes. That's what I'm saying.
That's what people wanted you to say.
First half of K-State was pretty horrific. Second half of K-State was a lot better, and that's seemingly where they kind of found themselves. Then they go on the road, make every shot against Xavier, and then it's off to a little bit of a struggle against Marquette, but they find a way to put it together thanks to a 2-minute stretch, 3-minute stretch of basketball, unlike anything that I've really seen in that building before. And it came from the guy who's taken it on the chin maybe the most out of anybody through the first 8 weeks of the season here, Nick Graves. Nick Graves was tossed through the ringer. He's quote unquote benched, right? He's demoted from the starting lineup. He has to see it in a different way. I mean, even in the Xavier game where he was good, he messed up. He's jammed up his thumb. He's still wearing the little wrist thumb guard thing that he's got going on right now. But he goes off for 17 points in less than 3 minutes. And when he hit the capper is always the best too. So when he hits the 3 and 1, it's in a full-on frenzy at that point. And one of the things that he said after the game was, obviously he's feeling more comfortable with the basketball stuff, but starting to show a little bit more emotion. You get that comfortability in there, and that's just such a huge thing for them going forward. If your point guard can be dynamic and be confident in his decision making and stuff like that. What a great few minutes for him, and a 20+ point win for the Blue Jays on Saturday. And now Utah Tech tonight. Who will go off for 17 points in 3 minutes tonight?
Boy, that's asking a lot.
Will it be Isaac Trout?
I think that'd be good for him.
That'd be good for anybody who is able to do it.
Sure.
They should just take turns of people having to do that. A couple comments here. Black Cat says, give Ben Gold forever eligibility. Once again, Ben Gold, Marquette, been doing cardio for 5 consecutive years at Marquette. I don't know what he does. I'm sorry. I don't know what he does. But he's like their 3rd best player. What Shaka did, what he didn't do, it's surprising. And it doesn't only affect this roster, it affects rosters going forward too. It's not like they went out and just went full youth movement and got a bunch of young guys and that are good and that are going to be good in 3 years, like Jim Flannery did for the women's basketball team at Creighton. No, they're bad. Their youth isn't very good, and I don't know what comes next for Marquette. But Shaka probably figures like, whatever. What are they going to do? Fire me? Which, to his point, no, probably not. He can probably stay there as long as he wants. Would be my guess.
So they like hate the portal.
Correct. That's
right?
their bit.
They're like Clemson football.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, it's a bad deal. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
You're going to want a little bit from the portal, but you're also going to want to recruit good players into your program. And they have been living off of what their core for the last 3 years. Guys like Kolick and what
can't read,
correct, and Iguodaro and whatever other guys and Stevie Mitchell and whatever, and they don't have any of them anymore. They're all gone. And they don't have any good players to replace them. I have no idea what they're going to do going forward. They stink. They might actually get last. They were worse than Xavier. They were definitely worse than Xavier.
Ouch.
And Xavier Xavier popped back and had a win at Georgetown. Shout out to Ed Cooley this weekend. But the game next Tuesday for the Jays against Butler at home is a big one. So it's St. John's and UConn at the top. Reverse order. It's UConn and St. John's at the top. And then everybody else is just a giant jumble. And it goes like on varying levels of, I don't like this team. I kind of like this team. We're getting a little bit better to like, we just flat out suck and everything sucks, and there will be teams vacillating in between all those categories this year. Everybody who's not named UConn and St. John's. It's possible UConn and St. John's goes undefeated throughout the rest of the league against teams that aren't named UConn and St. John's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seems likely at this point.
It's possible. So that is a piece of it. Good tweet here. Good question from Whopper.
Hi, Whopper.
Will the T-shirt cannon get back on track tonight? Yes.
Was there an incident?
Yes. The T-shirt cannon was malfunctioning for the first T-shirt toss.
Oh no!
But it was functioning for the second T-shirt toss. We had our mechanics look at it.
Get under the hood
a little bit. Second T-shirt toss, the cannon was full go, fully operational. But as we always say, there is always something that happens in these games. Okay, so the path continues tonight.
The path.
Josh, get in on the path.
I'm seeing it more and more.
You're going to be excited for not canceling Creighton.
This conference is really helping them.
The conference is, but I mean, we didn't even talk about this part, which we should have. They're playing so much better. I mean, it's not just the fact that who they're playing against. I wouldn't have been like 2 weeks ago. You wouldn't have been able to trust them in these two games, and I certainly didn't going into them. Mm-hmm. But they can at least at least a little bit. Now, I would hold your horses on like this is just what they are now. It's possible that this is just the baseline for what they are going forward. It's just going to get better and better and better and better, and then snap it turned a corner for them. It's possible, but I still want to see it because we've seen a lot more bad than good at this point. So, and you're going to get tested physically in a lot of different ways, which I'm still not sure Creighton is the most equipped to sort of hold up to at this point. But, there's going to be problems that arise. They will lose games going forward, but at least it feels like there's some sort of baseline underneath you where it's like, oh, wow, okay, we have something to hang our hats on now. At least we're going to be, engaged from an emotional standpoint, from a physical standpoint, from a defensive standpoint. The ball's popping a little bit on offense and you're doing those things. And you knew that you were a capable shot-making team. So, yes.
Got a little proof of concept.
There is a lot of good things. A lot of good things. John writes in on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, John.
Shout out to the child abuser, Ed Cooley, Connor. Whoa. Problematic on your part. No, he just threw a water bottle and it accidentally hit a kid. Okay? Not a child abuser. Just threw a bottle. He threw a bottle at, it could have been any. He just threw a bottle at the air. And it just so happened to absolutely nail that kid who was like 8 feet away from him. Pretty tough scene.
Respect.
Pretty tough scene. It didn't look like he was throwing it at that kid, right? Can we get that out? Can we say he was not throwing the water bottle at the kid?
Are you pretty sure?
Okay, he's pretty sure. All right, we'll be back. Josh has the odd news when we return on 1620 The Zone.
Upon further review, the host's last statement was deemed to be somewhat comical. Somewhat. The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Okay. Welcome back. So we're not going to do the odd news right now.
What?
So Josh, in our last segment, when I was talking about Creighton basketball, he took a phone call.
I did.
Who'd you take that phone call from, Josh? Who called?
It's not betraying a confidence.
I don't think so.
It's Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Nebraska's favorite son.
So Larry the Cable Guy called in the last break, and Josh, he was kind of fumbling around, and he was writing down a phone number and saying a phone number. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I finally asked him out of the break, okay, who called? And he said, well, it was your good friend Larry the Cable Guy. And I was like, well, what do you want? And Josh was like, well, he said that he knew David Wells. Because we were talking about David Wells' no-hitter, which is on MLB Network right now. He said he knew David Wells and he was going to call him up and he was going to tell him to call. And they were like, oh, that's funny. And then the phone rang.
Literally. Like, as he finished the sentence, the phone rang.
So on the phone, as we are watching David Wells' perfect game from 1998 on our TV on MLB Network right now, on the phone, on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline, is David Wells. Good morning, David Wells. How are you?
Good afternoon from Florida.
Oh, yeah. It's an afternoon there. I guess we're just shy of the afternoon there. So how are you friends with Larry the Cable Guy?
I don't know. I found some dude years ago digging through my trash cans, and I thought it was just some homeless dude, and it was him. He started telling me these jokes. I said, you got to go on stage, man. You got to go on stage and do all that. No, I met Dan. I believe it was at a Toby Keith's charity event years ago, and backstage and all that, and somebody he had some of this. He wasn't drinking it, but he had whatever's that apple pie moonshine.
Okay, yeah.
And he goes, and I tried it. I'm like, wow, this is good. They're like, don't drink too much because it'll sneak up on you. Well, sure enough, it snuck up on me, and I asked him if he could get. He goes, "Yeah, I know people. I can get you some." And I was great. And so he gave me his number, and we stayed in touch ever since. I mean, we do a lot of golf events. I play in his charity golf event in Lincoln, and he plays in my charity event that I have for my foundation. And then we play in Tahoe together.
How many of the weekends for you are just golf, or the days of the week, or just the days?
Well, right now, not a whole lot, because I've been battling surgeries the last 3 years, and so it's very minimal of golf. But normally I was like 3 to 5. Not like Dan. He plays like 2 rounds a day. He's 36 a day. The guy's a degenerate.
I know.
When it comes to golf, it's unbelievable.
You know, I don't think you would mind me saying this either. You would think that he would be better for how much he plays.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
I don't know if he would mind, but you know, I just every time I see him swing, I'm like, man, he plays a lot of golf. You know, he just keeps kind of looking the same.
Oh, it was so funny. He's the guru. I mean, he loves. You would think that he would be a scratch by now, but you know, unfortunately, we're in the same boat. I keep getting worse, and he's getting a little bit better, but I'm getting worse. And but yeah, it's just we got a common theme, and you know, we hang out. I talk to him like I go to I'm on like Instagram, and you see all this funny stuff. It's you know on there they got all these fat jokes or these fat things going on when you see it's not TikTok. I mean, I guess it's TikTok, but I'm not on. I just do the Instagram and all that, and I send him probably 30, and he goes, "Are you at the ranch?" And I'm like, because when I go up to Michigan, I got a ranch up there. Kurt Gibson and I own it, and he's like, "You must be at the ranch again. You're bored." And I just send him so much stuff because you know he's a comedian, so I figured this is funny. But I'm sure he sees all these things, and so I'm just like, whatever. And I just keep sending it to him until he tells me to stop. Then I'll stop, but he doesn't say stop.
Right? No,
he's so lovable. Yeah. He's a lovable human being.
That's what we are here in Nebraska. So today, we just turned on MLB Network. We were, you know, expecting like some hot stove, and sure enough, they were playing this is David Wells, by the way, on the phone. They were playing Your Perfect Game. It's on right now if you want to watch along. You know, if you want to.
I have no access to a TV right now, so
nice. You're like,
I think I've seen it. I think I have. I'm not sure. I know I did it, but I don't remember. So
yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for it. Raging skull rattling hangover. I'm sure you've talked about this a billion times. I doubt that there's any information that we could potentially uncover about the events leading up to the perfect game. But I'm glad you're here with us. What were you drinking the night before with Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers?
Oh, who knows? It was just flowing. I mean, we didn't really discriminate on the beverages. We just kept going and going and going, and you know. And I knew beforehand because I went to dinner I had my visitation with my son, and my dad was in town. He brought him. And then I just said, "Dad, I'm gonna go to Saturday Night Live. I'll be home around 1:30, and then I'll and all that." And I didn't roll in till 6, so I just got caught up in all the, you know, the after party at Saturday Night Live, and it just was like, holy mackerel! And I go, man, I'm in trouble if I miss the game or whatever it may be, but. You know, it was just one of those things. When I got to the ballpark, I think it was like 10:30, 11.
Games at 1 or noon?
Yeah, 1 o'clock,
okay.
1. And we never took BP ever on Sundays. And that day we happened to be taking BP. I was like, whew, that's kind of a good luck thing right there. And then and David Cohn his locker's next to mine, and I walked in and he just said, "Wow." I looked at him, I go, "What?" And he goes, "Dude, you stink." He goes, "You better go hide, because if Joe smells you, you're not playing today." And I go, "Oh boy." So he grabbed a bunch of waters, gave them to me. He goes, "Go in the massage room and hide and go in there. And so I said, well, I went in there. While I'm in, I go, Rohan, you might as well work on my legs, because if anything goes, it's your legs, and then you're done. And so I went in there, and he just started working on my legs. And I got up like every 4 or 5 minutes. I got up, and in the bathroom I went, and just all the alcohol was coming out, and not through the throat. And so I was just like, and I had no food. I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking water. And I just got all this alcohol. I was just like, I must have had 8 or 10 of those going. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. And then finally I ate a pancake. That's all I ate was a pancake. It's just dry as hell too. And it stayed. And I go, oh, okay, good. I'm good. I'm on the right track. And then I went out and did that crap. It was unbelievable. I don't know how it happened. Stars were lined up for me that day.
So going back to SNL, like starting with SNL the night before, you had all copious amounts of beverages and all sorts of different drinks, the next morning to try and get it out. And one pancake. That's it. One pancake.
That's it. I always ate pasta the night before I pitched. So I did have a carb load the night before, but that was like at I don't know, 7 o'clock. I had dinner at 7. So I always had like spaghetti and meatballs. That's all I had for pasta wise. Or if it was like, linguine or, fazoli, but I had to have meatballs. I was just very superstitious. So that's all I had from that until the next day at like 11 o'clock. I had it. But yeah, I was in the bathroom 80% of the time when I got to the stadium.
So who knew what you were enduring besides David Cohn that day?
Well, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, Horatio Sands, the whole cast of Saturday Night Live. It's funny because Jimmy told me, he thought it was a rerun or he was still dreaming. He said he woke up at like 1:30, 2 o'clock the next day, and he turned the TV on, and I was on the mound, and he's like, there's no way. And then he figured it was live. So he said he called Horatio and says, he goes, you're not going to believe this. He goes, David's on the mound. He's throwing a perfect game. And Horatio's like, no way. And so he did that. So, it was great. It was funny. And Jimmy calls me, after he's like, you got to be kidding me, man. This is unbelievable. We got to go out every 5 starts.
Well, he's probably thinking
like,
he's probably thinking, what did I do today? All I did was sit on my couch and, drink Gatorade or something like that. You threw a perfect game.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, I could not believe that happened because my bullpen was so horrific. I'm just like, holy smokes. This is like, I couldn't throw a strike. I was throwing 39-foot curveballs all over the damn place. Mel Stoudemire's like, and I'm getting pissed off. I threw 2 balls out of the stadium that day. I was so mad in my warm-ups. And Mel's like, Boomer, he goes, you're doing good. And I just turned around and looked at him. Don't patronize me. And I'm like, I'm not helping my cause one bit. And but I'm trying to stay away from everybody because I reeked. I really did. I was just a lot of alcohol coming out of my pores.
So then you get to the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. You must have a full realization at this point that like, all right, it's happening.
Oh, yeah, I was human then. I was human. It was like,
you're pretty sober in the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, but like the 5th inning, I started feeling a little bit better, but I couldn't believe that I was in this situation. It was crazy. And I remember getting up because nobody would talk to me. Nobody would sit next to me. And I remember getting up, and I think I went over and sat next to Tino Martinez. And he just looked at me, got up, and walked away. And then when I'd walk down the dugout, guys were just like the parting of the Red Sea. It was just like they were just going around me. And I was like, I was the loneliest man in the world until until the 8th inning. When I went out for the 8th, David Cohn's like, hey, man, he goes, why don't you break out your knuckleball? And I go, what are you talking about? I don't throw a knuckleball. And he goes, dude, I play catch with you every day. Throw a knuckleball. And I kind of got in a little argument with him. And he's like, and then I realized what he was doing. He was trying to calm me down. Because, I mean, I was nervous. You couldn't get a grease needle up my behind. And so I was like, so I knew what he was doing. And then, so I went out for the 8th, 1, 2, 3. And I came in, and then he's just calling me a big old P word. He's like, you show me nothing. You show me nothing. You know, and I'm just like, dude, chill out. And yeah, it was kind of fun. It was quite comical.
Oh my goodness.
Quite comical.
So you would figure, like, you know, this would be a great story if you had thrown a no-hitter that day and you walked like 8 dudes, or, you know, you hit a couple guys or something like that. But you can't fake a perfect game.
No,
it doesn't, you know, because you have to get so lucky and be so good all on the same day. And somehow, given all the circumstances, you were. It's incredible.
No, I mean, just pure luck. And I'd rather be lucky than good. So, you know, that was just one of those things that, you know, it just, you know, the unrealization of that just became reality. And, you know, in a million years, you would never think something like that would happen, especially the condition and all that. But yeah, I was in the zone, man, because let me tell you, after that bullpen, before I stopped short. I normally have my routine and I quit. I said, this is as good as it's going to get. Let's go. And I chopped it off, and I went in, and then the first pitch of the game, I think I threw it, I was like 94, 95, right down the middle. And I go, wow, where did that come from? I'm just like, oh, okay, let's try that again. And it just kept adding up, and it was pretty cool. Once you got into it, then you're like trying not to get serious. And as superstitious as I was, you know, I'm repeating everything that I did, going to the mound, coming off the mound, going into the clubhouse, spitting on the certain steps. You know, I had cotton mouth like crazy, and just so I was just trying to do that. But yeah, I was a weirdo when it came to superstitions.
Hey, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. Well, this is incredible. I can't believe that we're just 1 second we're watching this on MLB Network. We're still watching it. You're in the top of the 6th, by the way. You got
nice.
Pat Mears at the plate. You struck him out the first.
I call them Pap Smears.
This is amazing. This is so Larry the Cable Guy calls us, and then he calls you, and like 5 seconds later you call. So thank you.
Never know what's going to happen, right?
It's live radio. That's why we do it, I suppose. So
I do the same.
Go ahead.
I do the same thing to Dan. If like I'm with somebody and they're like, "No, you're not friends with them," I go, "Yeah, I am." I go, I'll call him up. Like, Dan, I got somebody. Hey, what's going on? And he'd break down into his voice, and I'm just like, I start cracking up. They're like, "No way, that's him." I go, "Okay, it's not him," because they can't believe it does so. What comes around goes around.
Anyway, Joe Torre, they have a shot of Joe Torre looking at he's just staring at you with the sunglasses on right now. I think he knows something's up. He knows something's going on.
He was pissed off I was throwing a perfect game. That's what it was.
Why?
Because he hated me. We didn't get along too well.
He did not have much emotion on his face when he was looking out of the dugout just then. So,
no, yeah. I bought a Babe Ruth hat in 1997. I bought a hat and I was gonna wear it in a game, and he caught wind of it, and he goes, he calls me and he goes, "You're not gonna wear that hat." I go, "Oh yeah, I am." He goes, "No, you're not." I go, "Dude," I said, "if anybody would appreciate it, would be you. You know, a lifelong Yankee fan."
Right.
He was at Don Larson's perfect game, and then obviously mine, and then David Cohn the next year. And I go, "Well, I'm wearing this sucker." And he goes, "No, you're not." And sure enough, we were playing Cleveland one day, and I was in the tunnel, and I went up to my locker and I got it. And I'm in the tunnel, and I see Jeter and Posada, and I'm looking up, and I'm like, "Go out!" And they're like, "Well," I'm like, run out on the field," because then they start the music and we do that. And so they took off running, and then I come flying out of the dugout with the Babe Ruth hat on, and Joe Torre is pissed. And so after the first inning, I go, I get out of the first scene, I come in, and he's fuming. So you got to take the hat off, blah, blah, blah. And I go, dude, he goes, that's BS, whatever. And I go, I told you I was going to wear that hat, didn't I? And then he fined me $2,500 after the game.
Well worth it.
I told him to F off.
All right. Well, that explains the blank stare coming out of the dugout. That makes sense to me. So the next time you're in Lincoln at Larry the Cable Guy's event or whatever, I don't know. Maybe we could get an invite. Maybe you could call back and we could all, see each other or something like that. Because this is amazing. This is fantastic.
Sure. Yeah. Anytime. I think it's the first Monday in June. So it's a great event, great cause, great event. You just got to get it out of that horse barn, man, because there's too many flies in there. It feels like I'm eating shoe fly pie. The Amish pie, because there's a lot of flies in there.
Now it's out there. Maybe he'll change it. Maybe we'll work on it. By the way,
it's a good event. It's nice. The people that do it there, it's a cool place. It's nice.
Where are you where you don't have access to a television?
In our house. We are actually our video people are here now trying to get everything hooked up. We're in the final stages of moving into our new house.
Okay. All right, good. I was like, are you just hanging out in like backwoods, like there's no electricity or anything like that? So no, it's just a normal thing.
Well, if I was in Michigan, I would. I wish I was up there hunting, so that'd be good.
Out in the cabin in the cold. What's the temperature where you're at right now? We're in the 70s?
It's 88 right now in Florida, and it sucks.
That's almost a little too hot. We're loving it here. It's 50 right now. It's like it's the middle of the summer.
Yeah, it's 50. It's 88 and hot, and it sucks. Shouldn't be that hot right now down here.
Yep. All right.
I don't want to golf in this.
No, well, that might be your only option. It's certainly an option that people around here would like to have. Well, this has been incredible, David Wells, everybody, of Perfect Game fame. Thank you for calling today, and we'll talk soon, I think.
And enjoy the game. I tell you what, I bet you $100 that guy's pitching today throws a perfect game.
I bet so too. I'll take that. See ya.
See you later.
Okay. There you go.
That happened.
I don't really know how that happened.
David Wells.
Why was Larry the Cable Guy listening? And can he call us to confirm any of these things? I was talking to Razum about his golf swing, whatever. But that was a pretty good cold call, early in the show. Yeah. Jason called and he had some takes about the playoff. And then the next caller was David Wells. Yeah. Jeter's up at the plate right now.
Yeah, Jeets. Oh, a Beanie Baby.
It must have been Beanie Baby Day. Looks like a picture perfect Sunday in the Bronx. Yeah. Unless you're David Wells, then it was the worst Sunday ever. Followed by the best. You're just in the zone. Okay.
Love coming to work every day. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know what you're going to see. Let's take a break. We'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone. Welcome back. The Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Stibbs writes in on YouTube.
Hi, Stibbs.
Odson just chilling, getting calls from Larry and David Wells while I was stuck talking to Nebraska Paul Mike and old man Doug every time the phone rang. This is BS.
Well, nothing but illustrious guests on the Connor Happer Show.
Curtis writes in on Twitter. That was freaking great radio. I'm just shocked that you didn't have to hit the dump button. We popped up in our chairs a couple of times.
Yep, I looked.
It was a risk we were willing to take.
Absolutely.
What if he would have shot me in the face? That's the risk we were willing to take. All right. Now our next call is the call after David Wells. Here is Kurt on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hi, Kurt.
Not Kurt Schilling.
Not Kurt Schilling. Yeah.
No. But on that path, I'm a lifelong Yankees hater. Obviously, I'm a Red Sox fan. And I've always, just shook my head at all their stupid, silly rules that they have for their players and their uptightness. And so I think he would have fit very well on the idiot bunch of the Red Sox when they won the World Series. So I knew nothing about David Wells other than he was a Yankee, so I didn't like him. But after that interview, it changed my opinion of him.
Yeah, he just calls into random sports talk radio shows in Omaha. I love it. Yeah, he's got when Josh answered the phone, he said, "Hey man, I got time. Well, whatever you guys need, I'll do it," which is great.
Well, and the fact that he says Joe Torre hates him was even that was the best. That made my day just hearing that he hated one of his best players on his team. It was great.
It's incredible. Thanks for the call, Kurt. Appreciate you listening. So yeah, I guess I was trying to quickly just refresh on Boomer. As I saw that in the call queue here, David Wells was joining the show, and we don't have to do a whole postmortem on this thing, but I didn't know the Babe Ruth hat story. And sure enough, there's a bunch of pictures out there of him pitching in a Babe Ruth hat in a game in 1997, and Joe Torre fined him for it. He was not happy about it. Joe Torre, very Yankee. As our caller just mentioned, as Kurt just mentioned, David Wells, a different kind of Yankee.
Yes.
A different kind of Yankee, but an incredible story. By the way, in this game, which is still on MLB Network,
sure,
which is the original impetus of all of this, there's Torre just not, he's not emoting at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And Boomer, friend of the show, David Wells, has a mustache, and now he's got a 3-2 count. With one out in the seventh. I wonder what's going to happen.
His jersey is so open.
I don't. You got to let it breathe, man. You got some sweat going on, and it doesn't look like it was a warm day. Torre's got his big jacket on. This is mid-May.
That's right.
And Tino Martinez gets it done on defense. Right there. Josh Peterson would love this game because it features a lot of the 2001 Yankees.
Okay, sure.
Blackhead says, this guy has no idea I'm drunk. Guy who's clearly drunk. I like the answer to, hey, did anybody know about this? He's like, yeah, Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers and Horatio Sands. I love that we got a Horatio Sands drop on the show.
It happened.
Yep. Pretty good. Well, we were going to hear from Matt Rule. Probably still we'll play some Matt Rule audio, but it all feels a little bit more hollow now.
Yeah. Mike Farron beside himself.
What did he say?
John alerted him to what was happening, and he goes, "Holy cow."
I think the backstory is better.
It is.
I think the backstory is even more funny. Josh is sitting there. Josh is basically, you're no good right now, Josh.
I'm here. I'm not my best.
You're struggling,
There's not enough topics on this sheet for a Monday.
Well, now there is.
Yeah.
Now we're plenty far down the road. But Josh answers. So imagine sick Josh's surprise when he answers the phone and he's like, he hears on the other line, "Get her done." He wasn't doing the voice, I don't think.
It's like, whoa. Okay. Oh yeah, sure. David Wells will call. Okay.
We've reached out to Dan for comment, and we have none yet. He's just going to let it be. I think at this point. Okay. Well, we should probably play some Matt Rule audio. How's that sound?
I mean, if you think so, yeah, sure.
I think we probably should. I mean, I could complain more about the playoff, or we could talk more about, Creighton basketball. We still have to award poopiest pants of the weekend.
Yeah, that's coming.
So don't worry about that.
Sounds like David Wells had poopy pants that day in 1998.
Yeah, it did. He's still, if they would have had K-Zone on the broadcast for this, you go back and watch it, you'd be like, this guy, he should have.
This guy is drunk.
He should have walked dozens by now. Here's the 3-2, struck him out, and we're going to the 8th.
Can you get a historical
or we're going to the bottom of
scorecard?
the 7th? That's a good question. We should reach out to them. We should reach out to them for comment. Wow. All right. We'll take a break. We'll play some Matt Rule audio. Matt Rule's triggered, by the way.
What's he got to be triggered about?
Well, you'll find out. People saying stuff about his program.
He's got no players.
A reminder that we still have the Vegas Bowl, which is next Wednesday, and we still have full reaction after the Vegas Bowl, including Big Red Overreaction with John and Gary on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg, brought to you by Equitable Bank, No Name Nutrition, Jason at Contracting, Dingman's Collision Center, and Mechanical Repair, Prairie Flower Casino, and Peerless Energy Systems. That is right after the game next Wednesday, and
maybe David Wells will call in.
Severe Reaction on the Sunday after the Vegas Bowl, which will be January 4th, 8 to 10 on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Equitable Bank and Nebraska Medicine. More to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But let's interrupt this fine programming to talk a little bit about Underdog Fantasy. That is indeed correct. Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. And this week with Underdog Unwrapped, you'll unwrap tons of promos all throughout the holidays. We've got boosts, gimme picks, deal reveals, and even some surprises sprinkled in. Now is the best time to get in the game. You can make picks and win money right now in Nebraska, as always. It's easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get those picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So whether it be tonight, anytime throughout the holidays this week, of course, the Christmas games as well, higher or lower, it's that simple. And you have a chance to be a winner with Underdog. Download the app today. Use promo code HAPPER1620 and score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code HAPPER1620. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing terms_DFS_.html for details. Consider with your play call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
He gives you the latest sports news, interviews, and life-changing commentary with a smile on his face. Because he wears those ticklish underpants.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here's an update from Matt Zinitz of CBS Sports. Nebraska quarterback Marcos Davila is entering the transfer portal. The 6'2", 235-pound Texas native was a class of 2024 four-star recruit and threw for 9,000 yards and 93 touchdowns during his high school career, and also transferred from Purdue this past offseason. Okay, so hold on. Quarterback, not a program reset, quarterback reset. No Dylon, no granddad, no Davila. You're down to Tiffy and walk-ons at this point at the quarterback position.
Everything's fine.
It is, because it's great. You could just go to the transfer portal and just get another Davila and then get a starter maybe.
Oh.
Or somebody who is not as good as TJ Lateef, and then you could just have TJ Lateef. But yeah, I'm gonna say probably 2 quarterbacks in the portal at least. Oh, Darryl Strawberry just hit a double off the wall, I think. Yeah, RBI double. Bernie Williams going to score.
Wow.
Oh, RBI triple. Look at that.
Whoa. Standing up.
Yeah. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt writes in.
Hi, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Everything's fine, said the commander of the Titanic. I don't think he said that. Did the commander of the Titanic say everything is fine?
Whole question.
I don't think he said that, man. I think he was pretty nervous right away. If the movie is true,
which I think it is.
I think is, yeah. I think that movie seems accurate. I think he was pretty nervous, pretty much right when they hit that iceberg. I think he kind of knew.
I think he knew. This is
we don't have very long on this boat anymore.
Now, maybe he didn't know the extent of the damage, but
yeah. All right. Matt Rule. Now we're going to play you what he says here, and the tone is, I think, important. Here is Matt Rule with a little bit of Sipple's question that he practiced with us on Friday. What do you think about the idea of a program reset? Here is the coach.
Program reset. Is this a reset?
No, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I've never heard the term program reset. We're building. The program was dead for 10 years. We went to back-to-back bowl games. I don't know why why Nebraskans, we are moving forward. It's just not as fast as Indiana did it. And people ask me that all the time. I'm frustrated. But we did it a lot faster than some of the other teams that got hired at the same time did it. So we are just continuing to build. Coach Belichick told me years ago, it'll take you 3 years to get the right staff. So we're just, every year we're evolving, we're getting better, but program reset, I mean, I don't know why anyone would say that. Just maybe it makes people click on more things. I don't know, but man, we just won 7 games. Should it have been 9? Yes, it should have been 9. So I'm tweaking. I'm just tweaking, right? Tweaking. And the thing I hope everyone appreciates at least is I sit up here all the time. I say it's me. Now I have to make tough decisions. So when I fire a coach, I'm not saying it's his fault. What I'm saying is I have to just tweak this. We got to get better and better and better. So we won 5 the first year, we won 6 the second year, we won 7 the last year. We fell apart at the end of the year. We're not doing a good enough job at the end of the season. So we're going to look at everything. That's not a reset. That's just like a process of just growing and building and building. So
what do you think? That's probably the first time you heard that, Josh.
It is the first time I've heard that.
What do you think?
Boy, he seemed immediately offended.
I think that was my takeaway on Friday, because I think what he's saying.
But there's a lot of truths in what he's saying.
He's absolutely right. Now I find the note of him saying, "Hey, look, the program was dead for 10 years." I mean, that's a very new tone. Mm-hmm. That is very different from the tone that we have heard over the last, 4 years since he's been here, 3 years since he's been here. Very, very different. So I think that is notable. And I think it's notable his immediate sort of like genuine reaction to that idea of what people are saying, which is, hey man, this feels a little bit different from your first couple of years. And like, I think we're going to, he had that one, which the program was dead for 10 years is the money line of the entire media availability from Friday. But I want to play the second one as well, because he brings it up. And the context here is he was asked about his defensive line, because so Josh, this is probably news to you as well. We have to tell you everything. He's coaching the defensive line kind of right now. He's a defensive line coach. And the thing that he's doing is he's wearing a backwards hat. That's why he's wearing a backwards hat. He's Coach Matt, or he's Matt when he's coaching the defensive line. And he is, interacting with players differently. It's all very interesting. So he's asked about his defensive line. I can't remember who asked him the question, but it was like, hey, is it good? It was Sam. Like, hey, is it good for your defensive lineman to kind of see you in a different light? And he starts a little bit talking about the defensive lineman, and then it becomes this kind of full-blown program-wide thing again. Here is Matt Rule from Friday.
I probably should have done this a long time ago. So we all have to live with our decisions. We have to live with our regrets. I think sometimes as a head coach with an organization this size, you feel like you have to let your coaches coach a little bit. I've had some great defensive line coaches come work for me. I just probably didn't get involved enough. I'm not Newt Rockney. I'm not saying that, but I do think them seeing me as a football coach is a really good thing. And, like I said, I put my hat on backwards. I just become Matt. I take my hat off. I become Coach Rule. I would take my hat off here. I never wear a hat in here, but my hair looks a mess right now because I'm wearing a hat. And I didn't want to keep it on backwards. I thought that was a bad look. But no, I'll brag about myself for a second. Riley was like, I don't understand why you just don't do this full time. Well, it's kind of hard to do it full time. But me and Phil can do it together, and we're doing it at a high level. And we have another guy that, is helping us kind of temporary. That's great D-line guy that hopefully can help us at the bowl game too. But I do think it brings a different relationship, and it brings a different intensity, to things. Sierra said to me, he said, I think you should do this, be this person all the time. And so that's why, I said what I said to Seth, I understand people's frustrations and things like that, but if anyone ever just understood what we walked into, they'd be like amazed at what we've done behind the scenes. And so I had to do a lot of that stuff because someone else didn't do it. I shouldn't have had to do it. Some people take over programs, they don't have to do that. We had to do a lot of stuff. And so now I get to be more involved with the football. And I think we made some great hires. I think we'll make a couple more great hires. And I think we'll continue to make progress. I don't know that it'll ever be as fast as everyone wants. Someone's going to lose the game tonight. Someone's going to lose the playoff game tonight, and that fan base is going to be frustrated. And so it just is what it is, and I appreciate that. I love it. I'm just trying to do what Coach Hoiberg did, man. Just keep building and building and building. And so, but I do think, Sam, coaching football for me is a big part of this. And I did what I had to do for the first couple of years to get a lot of things where they are. But between Susan and Haven and Courtney and Troy, like that stuff's all built now, right? And Pat Stewart, the addition of Pat Stewart has been so beneficial. Like there's so much stuff that he gets done that, I was doing before. So I can now go back to kind of this.
Okay. What'd you think of that one?
A lot to unpack there.
Yeah. Yep.
Another shot at the previous regime. Boy, he really emphasized how important it was for the players to see him coach football. Makes me wonder what he was doing before that.
Well, no, I mean, I think that's like, so what, here's my main thing. What he is saying is right. This is the path. Yeah. not to use the
path.
This is the path. This is the way to go. This is what they need to be doing. This is also what they have needed to be doing for a long time. But there's a reason why. So to balk at the idea of the reset is fascinating to me, given he just admitted it. He's like, this isn't what I've been doing. It's good to see them see me coach football. I haven't been coaching very much football over the last couple of years since I've been here, because he felt like he had to do all this other stuff. And the lesson here is that the main takeaway, it feels like, from Rule over the first 3 years of him being here is we should have done the football part first. I don't know why they felt like they had to make Nebraska cool and sexy and put all this other infrastructure stuff around it. Like, usually how it works in an organic way is you get this is why Indiana got the football stuff right, and they got it right quick. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Signetti's got a big old, contract extension. They got facilities going up. They got a sick NIL, package and situation that they can deal to their student athletes. They're active in the transfer portal, but it all is based around the idea that they have a great football team. They have a great football team, and they have an identity from a football perspective, and they can recruit to it, and they can get the type of people they want into the program that fit what they do. They don't have any of that at Nebraska right now. They don't have that. They don't have an identity. They don't know what they're recruiting to. They just know they want good players. And so the things that they end up recruiting to and the things that they end up selling for transfer portal guys or for recruiting is come here and look at all of the things. You could be a star. You're going to have a cool NIL deal. You're going to have people who know your name when you walk around Hy-Vee in town and stuff like that. That it's backwards. And Rule has, I think, realized it. I think he's realized.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think he likes the other stuff. Stuff.
Definitely.
But, he's a football coach at heart. And so this is the right way to go. It's just hard at this stage in the game to hear it. Because then you ask the question, what the hell has been going on for the last 3 years? And that's why people think it's a reset. It's also a reset from the Raiola era.
Yeah.
It's also it's a reset in a variety of different ways. So the idea of balking at this thing, this phrase, it's just a phrase that people use.
He's never heard of the phrase.
It's a reset. It is. You're changing exactly. You're changing how you're thinking. You're changing a quarterback. You're moving in a different direction. It's a reset. It is. I don't understand why that's such a taboo thing to say. And I also don't get why, because he clearly has heard that. He clearly has heard it a million times before.
I don't know. He said he hadn't.
He said he hadn't heard. I'm sure he hadn't heard it prior to, reading it in everybody's story over the last couple of weeks. But he had definitely seen it then. And it turned out he had been stewing on that for a long time and been thinking, I don't like this whole reset thing. I want to say something about it. That felt like it had been maybe boiling for a little bit from him.
A little bit.
And so that I thought the tone was obviously notable, and then all the other stuff as well. Like I said, I'm all right with all that stuff.
Maybe more people click on it if you say that.
That is just unnecessarily combative to me, but whatever. That's his thing. But I don't know what he's fine with the media. He's good.
Yeah.
If that's not going to turn into this overly toxic situation or anything like that. Because I think he's an adult and he doesn't hold grudges like that and all that stuff. Like, I don't know. I think he tends to get over things, I think, pretty quick. No, I don't know. But I think he'll be fine with all that stuff. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard for people to hear at this stage in the game because they don't have any confidence in the football stuff. That's all that anybody ever wants, for the football stuff to work. I don't care what the program looks like from the outside. I don't care about perception. I don't care about whether anybody thinks it's cool or not. You get the football right. You play your style. You play your brand. And then all of a sudden, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed at how the right people are just attracted to it like it's a tractor beam.
Sucked me right in.
Sucked you right in. You'd be amazed if you knew what you wanted to do offensively, defensively before this year, where you wanted to go with things and what type of program you want it to be from a football perspective and had it actually played out on the field. And it sounds like Rule's taking responsibility for that, right? Rule's like, hey, look, I should have been in there. And I wasn't. And that's now something he has to deal with. So there's a reason why people think it's starting over. Another word for a reset. It's a reason why people are saying that this feels like, year one or whatever. With a little bit of a base under you. But it does. And he just admitted it all. So don't say that it's not don't be so angry when people call it a reset. Also, the Fred Hoiberg thing.
It's just a little drop in the bucket there.
Not a very accurate representation of what Fred Hoiberg did here. Now, I will say this. Fred Hoiberg, I think, did what Matt Rule is trying to do, and what Matt Rule, like he said several times during that press conference on Friday, he said, we're tweaking. It made me think he was tweaking. We're tweaking. We're just tweaking. We're just tweaking. That's what, Hoiberg didn't do that. Like, Hoiberg completely reset. Hoiberg completely started over because he realized the stuff that they were doing is stupid and it needs to be, we need to get the basketball right. I don't care about all these players and going to the NBA. They had players they put into the NBA in the first couple of years. They didn't do anything. They lost 1 billion games. We said the thing on Friday, I think it was 30, 35 and 80 or 34 and 80 over the first 3 years. It was abysmal. And then they're midway through that season. They get a bunch of guys who are a little bit more defensive minded and can carry it on that way. Bandamel and, even though he gets hurt and Gary and, and a couple other, sorry, I forgot. I don't want to leave them out, but those guys, and it starts there. And then all of a sudden you're like, that was a pretty good idea. And you start recruiting to it. And then people start getting attracted to it. And then you could get good players that fit that system. Sam Hoiberg's in that conversation as well. That's what he did. He completely reset. But what he did in the first 3 years, I don't think had any impact on what it's become since from Fred Hoiberg. Other than, I know I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that tweaking, though. I would call that just, nope, never again. Not my style. And it's the same thing with Rule. Like, I never felt like that was Fred. I never felt like that was Fred. To be sort of absent and separated from it and sort of like cold in that way, and the acquisition of players and all those different, like, I never felt like that was Fred. That's not how Fred built it at Iowa State. I don't feel like the first couple of years here is Rule. I don't feel like it's him. Now, I guess we don't know, but I don't know. People have questions. What is the real him? And I'm, I don't feel like what we saw in the first couple of years was. So if we get the real him in the next iteration of what this is, then maybe it'll work out for all the best. But that's the frustration with it, that it's taking until this moment. Let's take a quick break. We'll get to a call. Thoughts from you guys on the other side on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
I got a couple things here.
All right.
Where was it? Oh, yes, that's right. The Chiefs. This is from Sam McDowell, the Kansas City Star.
The team that couldn't even beat the Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
I understand there were circumstances beyond
There are
their
some
control.
circumstances, Josh, and I don't know. I really didn't expect him to. By the way, they just had another close-up of David Wells, our dear friend in the dugout. He is getting more disheveled as the game goes along.
That's our friend.
The Chiefs have informed administrative officials that they will announce their move to Kansas today, pending the expected LCC approval. I'm told. That's from Sam McDowell, the Kansas City Star.
Wow.
The Chiefs are moving to Kansas.
Are they going to drop the city?
Kansas
Chiefs?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I
don't know what the Royals are up to right now. I have no idea.
Well, maybe.
Does that mean the Royals are staying now?
Maybe when you're at the women's game today,
yeah,
you can ask
our
dear friend Jake Eisenberg,
Jake,
who will be doing that game for ESPN Plus.
I will do that. I will do that.
Get a little info.
I would love to do that. Yes. Or we can go right to the source, or the source will just call us. You know,
that
maybe
happens
Jake is
sometimes
listening
as well.
Jake is probably on his way to the arena right now.
Hi, Jake.
Jake, if you're listening, where are the Royals going to play next year? Please call us 402-951-1620. Wait for the phone. No. For now, we'll take a call from the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline from a person named Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was listening to your comments about Matt's presser last Friday, I guess it was, and then I've read a lot of stuff over the weekend, and I've got a little bit different perspective, but I think I don't know that. I think he got into a little bit with Sipple, with not into it so much, but semantics. I think what he was really saying is I'm not totally redirecting the program. What I'm doing is doing some things that I've got to do to make it different. And for one thing, you brought up the Dylan Raiola thing. You build a whole offense around a guy that is fairly immobile, and you can't protect him, and then your offense goes in the tank. He had to sit with that offensive line coach for the whole year, and it's the same with Butler. You don't fire him in mid-year. And even though he probably knew, beyond the Minnesota game, that it was not a good choice. And so I don't know. I give him credit for jumping on it right away, right at the end of the season, and immediately going out and making changes. I'm very high on his new offensive line coach. I'm very high on his new defensive coordinator, and I think Dylan did some good things for 2 years, but he was never ever going to be the kind of person that we, in terms of top level. With his immobility, he's going to struggle if he tries to get into the NFL. There's just no question about it. So I'm still 100% behind Rule, but I know he's got things to do and things to change. And as a fan, you get tired of the fits and starts that have gone on ever since Frank Solich was fired.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, can we get it done and fast? A friend of mine talked to me last week, and he said, "Well, you're still supporting him." I said, "Yeah, but at the end of the season, it sucked. There's no question about it." You don't give up 444 rushing yards the last two games and feel like you had a good football team. But I like what they're doing to go forward, and I think we've got to. Hopefully, this thing works, and hopefully, even with the tough schedule they got next year, hopefully they can become a better football team. These younger guys get better. They get just a couple of gems out of the transfer portal because they now have the money to do it. And so my hat's off to him, but to do the best he can. Because frankly, I don't want to restart on a new head coach again. I mean, I'm just not emotionally ready for that.
Yep.
I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah. No, Mike, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. And I completely agree. I don't think that that's the right.
Let's make this work.
Yeah. And in a way, that's kind of like the Hoiberg situation, I guess. It's like, well, we're not going to go down that line. But it comes down to like, so here's a potential difference between, since everybody wants to compare Fred to everybody now. I always thought that Fred, like the thing that I always kept going back to was Fred is good. I know Fred is good. I'm sure that Fred Hoiberg is good. I can't figure out why his team sucks so much. I mean, we figured it out eventually, but in the first 3 years, I kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know Fred's good. I know Fred's good coach. I'm sure of that. So apply that logic to this situation. They're doing something a little bit different. They can't figure it out. It's not working at the moment. But I don't come back to this sneaking feeling in the back of my head, that nagging one that it's like, yeah, but I don't come back to, I know Matt Rule's good. I'm not sure of that. I don't know if that's the case. So I don't know if I trust him to just say, Jesus, take the wheel, and wherever we go with you, Matt Rule. Because it's been different, and this job is big, and sometimes I think he's maybe not the best fit for a big job like this and stuff like that, but you could probably make it work.
Someone in the YouTube comments, and it's buried in there, I'm not going to find it, so forgive me, I don't have the credit. He's a program builder who doesn't quite know how to do that in the NIL era.
No, I just think, I don't know, if we're doing like a whole unpack retrospective thing, I just think, he kind of unloaded it. He let us hear it on Friday. Like, I think he thought there were things about this program.
It was Greg and Lincoln
that had to be done differently. I think he thought there was a mindset that had to be changed, which is right. I also think a thing that set them back was taking Dylan Raiola.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where Nebraska. I don't know where they're at right now if he's not their quarterback for the last 2 years.
They're like, well, we got this 5-star. I guess we better try and make this place cool. We got some other 5-stars.
We got this 5-star, and it changed the path of everything. We got this 5-star, and we have to, we got to make sure he's happy and he sticks with us, and we got to build a whole thing around him. It's not ever been what they've done.
Yeah,
it's not ever been, whether it be a quarterback that highly ranked or a quarterback of his style. And it's not ever been what he's had. So yeah, I think that's a big complicating factor in all of this. Dilo writes in.
Hi, Dilo.
Why did you know Fred was good but not Rule? Very similar career paths. I don't know. Really? I mean, Fred had some excellent teams.
Yeah, I always thought of him as being a good coach.
I'm not talking about the Bulls part. I'm talking about the Iowa State part, And yeah. I guess you could take out the Panthers part for Rule too. Go Panthers, by the way.
I guess maybe they are more similar than I thought.
I don't know. I just felt like Fred Hoiberg was one of the star coaches in college basketball. Then he went off to the NFL then he went off to the NBA. And I thought he did a fine job there. Frankly, like he got kind of a rough deal in Chicago, because where he took them, they had some injuries. I think it was D Wade, right, who got hurt, and if not, they would have been in a different place. I can't remember the exact deal with them, but I always came back to, like, I just think that Fred's good, and that some of that is kind of just from knowing, like, being around. I was around him a lot, and I just thought Fred was good. Like, I don't know, it was just a vibe. I guess maybe it's not a resume thing as much as it just was a vibe. I'm not exactly sure of that with Rule.
Made a Sweet 16. at Iowa State.
Yeah, like I said, maybe it's not about the resume so much. I'm just telling you how I felt how I felt at the time. I haven't really dove into the feelings of why I don't feel that way about Rule. Maybe because I feel like he's too, he's over here one day, he's over here another day. He's got all sorts of different, kind of stuff going on. He's got his hands in a bunch of different pots,
He acts the way he talks. Just
he changes. Yeah. His tone changes often, and he's always got things that he wants to, hammer home and drive home and stuff like that. And I don't know. It feels all over it feels a little frazzled at times with him. That's all. That's part of the reason why.
I think I agree.
You think you agree? All right. Thank you. We'll take a quick break. Sam McKewon from the World Herald. He'll join us next on 1620 The Zone. All right. So when we started the show, we told you all that we were watching the David Wells Perfect Game. We were looking for some hot stove on MLB Network, and they didn't have any live programming today. They're probably taking the week off for Christmas. That makes a lot of sense. Go ahead, Harold and Vescursion. Take the week off. You're the only two people who work there anyway.
That's right.
So that's fine. So they threw on this must be Perfect Game Day. So they threw on David Wells' Perfect Game, yada, yada, yada. David Wells calls the show. Now, David Wells has finished off his Perfect Game at the Bronx in May of 1998. And now on MLB Network is Matt Cain's Perfect Game. So it goes without saying, if you know Matt Cain in any way, shape, or form, and you'd like to call him and tell him to call us, that would be fine. That would be a totally normal thing to happen today.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple tweets since then. By the way, so I don't know if Dave knows us or we know Dave, because another thing that we watch during our shows and hear a lot is the WWT News midday, and Dave is the host on the TV. Dave,
Zawalinski.
I believe that's how you pronounce it. Right.
Sorry if I got it wrong.
And so Dave tweeted at us and he said, "Diehard Yankees fan, grew up in Connecticut, got in the car for lunch, heard David Wells, and I couldn't fathom what was going on. Absolutely amazing radio. That was awesome." We've heard a couple more from everybody else. So we'll see if we got a line to Matt King.
You never know.
You never know
who's listening.
I didn't think we had a line to Boomer Wells until about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
But I guess it was more like an hour ago. We never did do the odd news, Josh.
We didn't.
I suppose we could. But we haven't yet given away poopiest pants of the weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
Please,
yes. How dare us?
Please submit your nominees to Connor at 1620thezone.com and the Equitable Bank Zone inbox, or you can comment in wherever it might be. Your nominees for poopiest pants of the weekend. Who is it? Is it the Green Bay Packers?
Ooh.
The Green Bay Packers.
Okay, that's a good candidate.
Okay, so let's evaluate their case.
Uh-huh.
Got the Bears on the ropes a little bit. You're nursing a 10-point lead down the stretch in Chicago, feeling good about yourself. Yes, everybody is injured, which is a problem that will eventually come back to bite you in this game. But, it's coming along. Field goal. All right. Onside kick. Oh, no. Disaster. Okay. I guess Caleb Williams will run around and he'll throw it aimlessly into the back of the end zone, and a man will catch it and then do an insane touchdown celebration. Have you ever seen a person do that dance, Josh, that he did? The thing where you're able to make your foot hover above the ground and move at the same time, so it looks like you're walking above the ground.
No.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, never.
I've seen people do it before, on TikTok. I thought it was it was incredible. So tied up, go to overtime, and then the Packers find a way to poop their pants again.
5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
They're up 16-6.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good pants pooping. We have, let's see. Black Cat brings in Lamar. That could be a thing. We could do any of the other people that were commenting in earlier. DK Metcalf punching the guy with the blue hair in the face. It's a variety of different options. But I got to be honest. I created an award just for this. Poopiest Pants of the Week. Look, Josh even made a graphic for it. Look at how that looks like a bad one. Okay. Looks like a bad one. This is for the Oklahoma Sooners. Congratulations to the Oklahoma Sooners.
Oh, congrats.
They did some of the dumbest things that I've ever seen a football team do.
Boomer.
With 17-0 lead in a college football play. Now, granted, I haven't seen very many teams up 17-0 in a college football playoff game on campus, on your home field, mind you. But I'd like to think that Oklahoma did a series of the dumbest things you could possibly do.
First home team to ever lose.
So count them up with me. These are just the main ones. These aren't the ones that are inside of the plays. We're talking about the big picture ones. So we have pick six that was just directly to the guy. Mm-hmm. He untouched walked into the end zone. There was dropping the punt. The punter went to drop the ball to his foot and dropped it wrong. They put it in the wrong place and his foot never hit it. That's bad. we had the drop pass that I think this was the biggest one. The drop pass on the ball where the guy got way behind everybody. I think it was 17-7 at the time. Should have been a touchdown. Could have potentially put away the game. Bad. Then you go for the field goal late to try and make it a 7-point game. Do the whole thing there. Miss it. Get another opportunity somehow. Again. Miss it again. And all the while, your kickers wearing biker shorts during that period of time. That was a series of very, very dumb things, ladies and gentlemen. Bad deal.
Oklahoma was up 17-0.
Yeah.
And then in a span of like 5.5 minutes of game time.
Yeah.
Alabama had it tied before halftime.
And it was all handed to them. That's the point. That's
Yeah.
what makes the pants poopy. It wasn't Alabama doing anything. So everybody's going to do the whole Alabama thing. And see what happens when you put the Alabama into the playoffs. Whatever. They didn't do anything. I wasn't really impressed by much of what they did at all. I just felt like most of it was handed to them by Oklahoma. By the way, on the Matt Cain perfect game, they're showing a hover.
Whoa.
A jetpack guy who's in McCovey Cove right now.
Wow.
What a time. This is 2010, right?
I don't know. I was hoping that graphic would come back and tell me what year this was.
I believe this is 2010. Aaron writes in on the Packers.
Hi, Aaron.
I believe he's talking about the Packers. He says, you guys, what are you doing to me right now? It was exactly like the 2014 NFC title game. They had a 99.6% chance to win, and it was the 5th best odds to lose since 2017. Sigh. Yeah. It's pretty. You're lucky. You got off lucky. Because if the Packers are doing what they did on a normal weekend, they win. Poopiest pants of the weekend. But it wasn't a normal weekend. Oklahoma had to poop their pants harder. That was the story. Mike writes in.
Hi, Mike.
Texas A&M honor roll mention for just being bad. How about we do the other side of Texas A&M? All the other teams that lost to Texas A&M on their way to a volleyball national championship.
Oh.
I'm just talking about the 2 in the Final Four, not talking about Nebraska.
Okay.
Which you never got to comment on Nebraska volleyball season prematurely ending, Josh.
Didn't know it was possible.
It was.
For them to lose.
When you run into a Wagonye like Texas A&M.
Those 2 gals that were real good on the block. Wow. Just couldn't crack that code.
Yes, Ed Cooley was thrown into the mix earlier. I mean, he did biff that throw. That is assuming he was not aiming for that little kid in that lady's lap, of which he hit with a water bottle squarely in the chest.
Out of respect to Ed Cooley, I will say he was not aiming for the child.
I don't think so either, but I do like how Big East Twitter is trying to make it seem like he was aiming directly at the child. Aaron follows up with the Packers. He says they deserve to share the diaper with Oklahoma. Oh. Hashtag share that diaper.
Share diaper.
Share that diaper. Share that diaper. Okay. That's the trophy. A shared diaper goes to the Oklahoma Sooners and the Green Bay Packers this weekend for having the poopiest pants.
Wow.
Congratulations. Oh, yeah, and we were going to put David Wells in there.
Oh, yeah, because he told us he was literally pooping his pants.
During the perfect game.
Yeah.
David Wells joined the show today.
Seemed like a rough morning for him.
We're really, 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 really happy he did. I want to remind you before we take a time out here that we have a couple online contests going on right now to win tickets to various concerts. How about Hairball hitting the Metro for the bombastic celebration of Arena Rock featuring 80s hits from Van Halen, Kiss, Journey, Motley Crue, Queen, Aerosmith, and more. That's New Year's Eve at the Astro. Enter online, 1620thezone.com. Also, Rascal Flats online contest there as well, 1620thezone.com. Of course, the Life is a Highway Tour, January 24th at CHI Health Center. Head to 1620thezone.com right now for your opportunity to win your way into either or both of those. And we'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, did you know that Dustin Johnson threw out the first pitch at the Matt Cain Perfect Game that we are learning, along with many things today here on the show as it pertains to perfect games in Major League Baseball. A little update from Chiefs camp here. So the fear was yesterday that Gardner Minshew had also torn his ACL. That turns out to not be true. Gardner Minshew did not tear his ACL according to the test results and according to Adam Schefter. He is expected to miss time, but his ACL is intact. And the Chiefs have gone to the practice squad world and picked up Shane Buechele. He's a former Texas guy, right? He's on the Bills practice squad. I feel bad for Minshew. He was going to be right in the running to be Chiefs random backup quarterback of the year next year. But, we'll see how much time he misses. Maybe he's back in that conversation now. But all the Chiefs media doesn't care about this because they're out in Topeka trying to figure out if their team's moving to Kansas or not.
Just camped out at random spots?
No, they're at the Capitol building.
Okay.
Yeah. There's like some, I don't know what's
good
going on.
Good spot to make an announcement like that. Sure.
What was the phone call about? Was it Matt Cain?
It was not.
Damn
it! It was Larry.
All right. What did he say?
He called in specifically to say that he does not know Matt Cain. And then we kind of got disconnected. So, Larry, if you're listening, we got disconnected. I didn't hang up on you or anything like
that. Thank you for calling the show, as always.
He's just got to be on the links listening to us, right?
This is our real connection here. I mean, this is.
Oh, yeah.
He's helped us out. So I don't know how we can help him. How do we help?
What do we have that he wants?
How do we help Larry the Cable Guy? He's like, here, yep. David Wells, right? You got a pen? Write down this number. 402-951-1620. Call them. They're expecting your call. They're talking about your perfect game. Sounds great. I'm in. I don't know what we could do for Larry to make us up for him. Maybe we could give him a gift card.
That's what he needs.
That's what he needs for sure. Texas A&M football has officially announced an addition to their staff.
Seems a little late, but okay.
Well, or is it? It's really just the second day of their offseason.
Okay.
Or I guess if you put it this way, Texas A&M season ended before Nebraska's. Kind of fascinating.
Take that, Trev.
Elijah Robinson is rejoining the Texas A&M staff as a co-defensive coordinator and defensive line coach, which I believe means he will not be coaching at Nebraska this year. But I think that ship is sailed. That ship has been sailed for a couple days. The path went cold on the Elijah Robinson train, and it's obviously very, very cold now. Very, very cold.
Seems that way, yeah.
Yep, he's going to Texas A&M. So Nebraska needs a defensive line coach. Still sounds like something that Matt Rule and company are going to address after the bowl game. They'll have more serious discussions about who should be their full-on defensive line coach. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt writes in.
Hi, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
I feel like chopped liver as I see an appreciable difference between how Connor treats and interacts with Larry the Cable Guy and David Wells versus us. Wait, I treat you guys really well. Yeah. I am easily the nicest person to the chat on 1620 The Zone.
I don't think it's close.
It's not close. For a fact, I can tell you it's not close. I like you guys in general, okay? Sometimes I just come up with funny nicknames for people or what I think are funny nicknames for people. So if John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt doesn't like when I call him that, then I don't know. Maybe you could stop saying the same thing every day. Like, I have all caps trained myself to like the crossover.
You will love the crossover.
I like you guys.
We're going to cross over even harder.
Also, Black Cat asked Connor, are you pulling double duty at Sokol today? I'm not. I have no duties at the women's basketball game, which starts at 3 today, but I think I'll go. I mean, I have nothing else to do for several hours.
It's a big one.
Before the Utah Tech game. It is a big one, actually. And then also for the ulterior motive, I could drop by and see where the Royals are moving from Jake.
That's right.
Jake Eisenberg. The basketball AP poll is out, Josh.
Oh, yeah, it is Monday.
Are you ready for basketball AP poll update?
Yeah, I haven't had one in a while. Hit me.
Number 1, Arizona.
Okay.
Number 2, Michigan.
Yeah.
Not bothered at all by the Sharon Moore scandal. Number 3, undefeated Iowa State. So all the top 3 teams are undefeated. Okay? 11-0, 11-0, 12-0. And then there's only two more undefeated high major teams.
Whoa.
So you would think that they would be number 4 and 5, right?
Theoretically, yes.
Wrong. Because the other 2 undefeated high major teams are Vanderbilt and Nebraska.
Whoa.
Yep. Vanderbilt number 11, Nebraska number 13 in the AP poll. That's right. The Nebraska basketball and Cornhuskers above Alabama, Texas Tech, Louisville, Kansas, Arkansas, coached by John Calipari, Tennessee, Illinois, Virginia, Florida, Georgia, USC, and Iowa. That rounds out the top 25. Nebraska is still undefeated and ranked above every single one of them.
Kentucky, are they still not ranked?
They beat St. John's this weekend, but I don't think
good dub.
They are 26. They're equivalent of 26.
Wow. Nebraska ranked higher.
Seton Hall, Nebraska ranked higher than them. Seton Hall just outside of the top 25.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, they almost won Maui. Remember, there was like 2 teams in Maui that were anything, and Seton Hall almost beat USC in I think it was the semifinal.
Someone had to win Maui.
St. John's outside of the top 25 now as well. There you go. Nebraska number 13. They keep on climbing and they stay undefeated. The Nebraska men and women still undefeated. The Nebraska women's next game is a huge game. The Nebraska men's next game is not a huge game. Their next game is against New Hampshire next Tuesday. The women's game is against USC at home next Monday at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Yeah.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. And they're doing like a TV thing, so it's at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Luckily, we won't be doing our shows here that day.
We will not.
So I will be, available to go down there. Not that I wouldn't be anyway, but Brandon writes in.
Brandon.
No, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. It's just you. Only you get treated differently. Any responses to that in the chat? No, we don't treat John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt differently.
No, a lot of people agreed with you that yes, you are the nicest to the YouTube.
The
chat.
number 1 treater of the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
By the way, should we go back to? We got enough time here.
Yeah.
You want to briefly continue to unpack this whole? I'm sort of sorting through my feelings on it now. Why did I think Fred Hoiberg was good, and why am I less sure with Matt Rule?
Okay.
Do you agree with that? Or what did you think about Fred when Fred was struggling?
I thought they should probably stick with him because of his.
But what did you think about him? What did you think about him? Did you feel like he was going to get it figured out, or did you feel bad for him?
I felt bad for him because I knew he was more talented than the teams that they were trotting out there.
I agree. I felt bad for him. I'm like, I don't know, and it's like, why would I feel bad for him? It's his fault, right? He did this. He's the one who decided to make it this way, right? Ultimately, it comes back to him. But why do I have the emotion of I feel bad for him? I can't really explain that. I did.
Yeah, when you said that, it resonated with me. I was like, oh, I felt bad for him too.
Do you feel bad for Matt Rule?
No. Not in the least.
Okay. Well, there's a difference. Why not? I'm not asking you to have a definitive answer to this, but if we're to just sort through our feelings on this, why don't we feel bad for Matt? Like, why, when Fred Hoiberg was struggling, nobody hated Fred Hoiberg. They just were mad that the basketball sucked, and maybe they wanted to fire him.
Yeah.
When Rule is bad, and to his point, to Rule's point, they haven't been bad. They've just been not very good.
Mm-hmm.
7 wins over the last few years, or 2 out of the last 3, I guess. Gone to 2 bowl games, whatever it might be. But the conversation is more like, oh no, I hate this guy. I don't like him. I don't like this person. Which is fascinating. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Probably because Matt Rule likes to be front and center as much as possible, and because
maybe that'll stop.
That's part of his job, though, right? Like,
maybe that'll stop now that he goes back to whatever he's trying to say now, going back to being a football coach or something like that. Maybe that'll slow down.
And Fred doesn't.
But they got sponsors for the podcast now.
Oh, yeah.
They got Revolution Wraps in there. They got to keep doing pods, Cuzzo or whatever the guy was who's hosting the podcast with him. He needs some of that dough, baby.
Yeah. Driving around with a House Rules wrapped SUV.
So I don't know. Try and sort through that.
That's probably the reason, right?
But why don't? And it's not as simple as, no, we just never have really liked him. Because I think most people would be willing to be like, yeah, man, I'm willing to give anybody a shot.
Like, I think he's a nice guy.
But how it's landed after 2+ years now is I don't get the sense that people really like him that much. And I don't think that is solely related to the lack of winning football games. Right? Like I said with Fred, I think they lost a lot of basketball games, but people still could separate that with, oh boy, I really like him. And I think I really want him to figure it out because I want him to be the guy here. I think with Rule, it's more of, yeah, I want him to figure it out because I want our football program to be good and all that stuff. But, do I really, and I don't want to fire another coach. That's the thing that we got a call before is like, I don't really know, I don't want to do that again. And I totally agree. I don't want to do that again. But I don't know. It's just a little bit of a different conversation. A lot of people commenting in the phrase snake oil.
Whoa.
They're talking about snake oil.
I would never.
I don't think he's a snake oil salesman. People say that all the time. I don't think he's that.
I'm not ready to rule on that yet.
Okay. Let's take a phone call. Here's John on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Hi, John.
Yeah, hi. Just turned on your program. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I heard one of you guys say, "Do you feel sorry for Matt Rule?" Well, let's go back to Trev Alberts. When he hired him, I said, "You get what you go after." I didn't want him hired because he was 51% as a college coach before we hired him. And what is he at Nebraska so far? 51%. You get what you go after. And as far as Raiola, and I predicted that Matt would be fired eventually at 50% or less record at Nebraska. And I think I'll be right on that. And with Raiola, kid went to 4 different high schools in 4 years, changed his college commitment 2 or 3 times. Did that sound like somebody who was going to stay 4 years in Nebraska? No. So that was an easy prediction that I also was right on, that he would leave.
Nice prediction.
As far as Matt Rule feeling sorry for him, this is a guy who makes, in 2 years, he'll be at $12.5 million a year. He's like at an average salary of like $11 million. For a guy that, if you include his professional record, he's lost 54% of the time.
John, hey, John, can I interrupt you real quick? Because
lottery winner.
I get where you're going.
I don't feel sorry for him.
Okay. But can I interrupt you real quick? I got a question for you.
Sure.
Outside of the winning and losing, do you like him? Or do you not care whether you like him or not? You just care about the wins and losses.
Yeah, I generally don't care, but I mean, he's a nice guy. Nothing against him personally, but he's making $12 million a year, and he loses 54% of the time. It's insane. So it's insane that he coached football at that amount of money. He's never gonna. Like I said, he'll be fired, and his record in Nebraska will be less than 50% when he does get fired. Do I like him? Yeah, I'm indifferent, I guess.
Okay. All right.
I just care about the results, the bottom line.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah, I think
you
he's
are
a nice guy, you know.
Okay. Gotcha. Thanks for the call, John. Appreciate it. So yeah, I wonder if I should have probably asked to follow up why John was so out of breath. Also, we didn't say, for the record, we felt bad. That was the whole impetus of the topic. We didn't feel bad for Rule. I think not a lot of people are saying that they do feel bad for Rule, and I was interested in why. And that's why I asked the question that I asked John, but that's all right.
And there's always going to be he makes $1 bajillion.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But people feel bad. People felt bad for Fred.
Yeah.
I don't get the sense that people feel that bad for Rule.
No, I don't.
You look at it both, and it was like, oh, this who's doing. I mean, Fred did what he did. You know, he made his bed, but then figured it out. And Rule has done what he's done so far. And I don't get the sense people are like, oh man, this was the one. I really needed this. I needed this guy to work. And people don't want to make a coaching change and they want to win football games. Maybe it's just maybe in football it's just more. I don't know. Maybe it's just more business in football. Less heart, more business. Not sure. Back to the phones. Here's Andy. Hi, Andy. Good afternoon.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Calling from rainy California here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll count me in as a hashtag learning to love the crossover too.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah. No, love you guys. But hey, I think people get annoyed at the whole Rule having me front and center, riding bulls, doing a podcast. Whereas Hoiberg, lets the players speak to the program. I think there's the biggest difference right there, why he's more likable from the fan base. But I'll hang up and listen up.
Hey, Andy. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Rainy California. Hashtag learn to love the crossover. Don't let John Jingleheimer Schmidt start a movement here with learn to love the crossover. But no, I mean, yeah, I think there is. I don't know why he felt like Rule. I'm talking about Rule. I don't know why Rule felt like. Why are so many people breathing heavily that call into the show? Great question. Felt like he had to, I think maybe it's part of the mental rehabilitation of the program that he sensed right when he got here.
It was dead for 10 years.
We got to believe on the inside. And in order to do that, we have to make people believe on the outside because I don't know, players listen to all that stuff and all that. I don't know. I just think they took and he made the point about Indiana and how it didn't happen overnight. Indiana did. Indiana's ruined everything for college football coaches these days. And I guess to a point, he is right about that. At the same time, I think what he did on Friday was admit that he's made some mistakes. I don't know why he felt like he has to approach it from this whole perception and outside looking in, perspective. I don't know why he feels like everybody else has to feel good about Nebraska before Nebraska can feel good about itself. It was always sort of an odd tack to me. Like, get your program playing good football, and then everybody else will think what they think.
Yeah, they'll flock to you.
Right. Look at what happened with me and my relationship with Indiana. I love those guys. I hated them a year ago.
Only took 2 seasons.
I'm like, this is awesome now. They just execute and execute and execute and execute. I listen to their coach talk, and I'm like, keep talking. I like it. He doesn't get on my nerves at all anymore.
Just win, baby.
And that's, he was out there a little bit more. Obviously, he's been on more TV shows, podcasts, and stuff. He was on 60 Minutes. So he's been out there a little bit more, but that comes with the football. That comes with the success. You don't like artificially just create that out of thin air. That was never going to happen. He's got a spot with McAfee. Do we need that? I don't know. We don't have to take another call, Josh. But yeah, this is a good last couple of days before we take a break for a little while to talk about stuff like this. We can get some texts on the other side. I don't know what the trend is with why all the callers to the show are out of breath today. We're going to have to do a study on that. That maybe our topic was so good they literally ran to their radio.
Well, everyone's gassed from the David Wells interview. 1620thezone.com if you missed that.
I was listening. I really was curious about what he drank, but very predictably the answer was, I don't know. I don't.
Whatever I could get my hands on.
Whatever Horatio Sands gave me. Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620 The Zone.
What a mess.
Here's a text from Pedro on the text line. Hi, guys. Was that really David Wells or was that Caliendo pranking you? Fair question, considering our relationship with Frank Caliendo.
Hadn't thought about that. But wouldn't the bit be to at some point reveal it to us that you are Frank Caliendo?
Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe never. Maybe that would never happen.
Yeah.
By the way, Josh, when you were out last week, we got a couple new drops. You want to hear?
Oh yeah, I would love to.
Here is Kent Pavelka.
God!
I did hear that one.
And you can't have. We got to give equal time. Here's John Bishop.
I had not heard that one.
That was from a night at the Cintas Center. Also, you weren't in on the day the day after we found Xavier Happer.
I saw this on Twitter.
Yeah.
That the Xavier hype man.
Yep. They're calling him Timu Happer.
Looks exactly like you.
Not weird. Totally normal.
Everyone in the Big East have a.
That was my next question.
Bald ginger.
We'll have to find out. You know, the more Creighton goes on the road here.
Sure.
All right, to the polls here at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Did the commander of the Titanic say everything's fine? Oh wait,
that's not the first.
Not at all the first poll question. Let's answer it though.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say that. He knew. Wow, 78% said yes. He did say that. Weird. Is Omaha a dirty car town? Yes. Turn on your mic, Josh.
It is.
86% say yes. If you say hello, do you have to say goodbye? No. That's all right.
It's called an Irish goodbye.
Interesting results. 75% say no. And finally, are you breathing heavily?
A lot of you are.
56% say no. Those are the polls. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We are watching the National Football League Monday Night Football. Niners in Indianapolis to take on Old Man Rivers and the Colts. An important game.
It is.
7 o'clock, ESPN, ABC, and of course right here on 1620 The Zone. College football going on right now. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
Oh, potato.
A matchup of Pac-12 teams. Washington State and Utah State.
I was going to say that could be anybody.
Going on right now on ESPN. Basketball. I'm interested to know what the thrill score leader is.
I got
tonight. I'll tell you that Missouri takes on number 18 Illinois tonight at 7 on FS1 in St. Louis.
Illinois and Missouri in St. Louis at the Enterprise Center, home of Arch Madness.
It's probably the only thing I would have picked as the leader.
The second one is Northern Iowa St. Mary's, which sounds like a bracket buster game.
It does. Wow. Utah Tech, of course, taking on Jays. 7 o'clock tonight.
The Path.
On ESPN. Plus, coverage begins right here on 1620 The Zone at 6 o'clock.
You got it. Tell people who might be broadcasting on ESPN Plus tonight. Johnny Schreiner.
John Schreiner.
And Old Dominion downtown Nikki B.
Oh, wow.
Yes. What a crew.
Doesn't get much better than that. The women are in action at 3 o'clock.
I love it.
Jays hosts Seton Hall on ESPN Plus. Jake Eisenberg on the call.
Go Royals.
Fleece him for Royals information.
I will.
NBA doubleheader on Peacock. Hornets Cavs at 6. And then Grizzlies Thunder at 8:30. And finally on Netflix, Elway. Told in his own words, the documentary shares the definitive story of Denver Broncos quarterback John Elway as he goes deep on his NFL dreams, heartbreaks, and Super Bowl redemption.
This one's for John. That's what the documentary is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. That is it for us today. If you missed anything, you missed a lot.
You did.
1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is next.